You're watching the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
So Oklahoma taking care of business. Now it's Texas's turn before the clash next week. Welcome to Morgantown, West Virginia. 73 degrees, clear skies. 11th ranked Texas and West Virginia. As we welcome you to the first Saturday in October. Hi, everybody. Steve Levy along with Brian Greasy. We get to Todd and Molly. Surely it's the day of the year here for the game of the year. Texas has to be very careful not to look forward to next week or even the college football playoff. They need to be focused on the here and now, Greasy.
There's no question. This is a tough place to play. We know what happened a year ago. West Virginia beat them 42-41. So I don't think you're going to get a Texas team that's going to sleepwalk through this game at all.
The people here are rather ready. They're very happy about the 3:30 local start. Homecoming striped the stadium, as you can see. And this has all the makings of an excellent afternoon of college football. And we are underway. Sam James on the return. And he will set West Virginia up at the 25-yard line. Austin Kendall, his background as a backup is rather fascinating. He was at Oklahoma with Baker Mayfield, sat behind Baker for a couple of years. Then Kyler Murray. Okay, Austin sat behind them. Then Murray leaves, and you figure, all right, this is Kendall's turn, except look out for the old transfer portal trick. Here's Jalen Hurts. All of that, and Austin Kendall. Welcome to Morgantown, West Virginia.
It's been quite a ride for Austin Kendall. He's always wanted to play, as you mentioned, against Texas. Going to get his opportunity today.
On first down, Kendall comes out throwing. Able to complete to Giovanni Haskins, and that is the first reception of the season for the tight end. It's good for 6.
They have 6 on the play, 2nd and 4.
On 2nd and 4, off the play fake. Kendall to throw. It's Sam James who was spun around back to the line of scrimmage as the aforementioned Todd McShay chimes in. Todd.
Well, Steve, Kendall's really struggled throwing the ball vertically. He's only completed 22% of his throws that have gone beyond 20 yards. Now, he's going to have to attack today, and they've got to be able to trust those wide receivers because this secondary for Texas is beat up. They're giving up more than just about every team in terms of pass yards in the country, 124th in the FBS, and they're missing 4 key contributors you see here in Josh Thompson, Jalen Green, Caden Stearns, and Marvian Overshown. So it's going to be a big challenge for Texas' secondary.
Stearns, the top tackler for Texas. A helmet comes flying off, and a body goes flying. And so does a flag. T.J. Simmons on the receiving end took a shot from B.J. Foster.
Wow, dangerous play there, right? The helmet came off. I don't think it was intentional that they ripped the helmet off, just trying to get him on the ground. And then B.J. Foster took at least 2.5 steps, came up and hit the receiver.
And with all the injuries in the secondary, Foster is a player who is just returning to the Texas defense. Brad Van Vark, our referee today.
Therefore, that killed the play and made the ball dead. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the 25 of the Bulldogs, 15-yard penalty, automatic 2 steps.
This is absolutely the right call. You know, B.J. Foster has to understand and know the rules. Once a helmet comes off, that play is dead right there. You see he comes in and takes another 2 steps for a 15-yard penalty. Good start for West Virginia now right at midfield. Looks like Austin Kendall with a couple of completions early. Get him in a rhythm, get your passing game going to Giovanni Haskins, as you mentioned, a tight end, and begin to distribute the ball around.
At midfield, Kendall to throw. Flag comes in, going for Sam James. Deshaun Jamison on the coverage. We'll check that marker.
Defense, number 5. Ball be placed in the spot on the 5. Automatic first down.
I think you saw that left hand for Deshaun Jamison kind of pull on the jersey of James. He was in great position really didn't need to tag on him, but that's what's going to happen with Texas. With so much youth in the secondary, especially at the corner position, you're going to have some of those calls.
From the 44 of the Longhorns.
Jamison gets the start, as Todd mentioned, without Jalen Green out there, without Josh Thompson. He's going to play a bunch, as well as Kobe Boyce in this game.
Kendall refuses to hand off. He'll throw for it down the sideline. It is caught. Sam James, touchdown, West Virginia. It's 44 for the score.
Great effort on the end of this play. Let's see if this ball touches the ground. He gets his hands under it.
That is close, man. And again, as you point out, Grease, the ball can touch the ground as long as you maintain control, and that does not help you secure the football.
And it's important that the ruling on the field was a touchdown and not an incompletion, so you got to have that conclusive evidence to overturn that.
The previous play of the ruling of a touchdown on the field is under further review.
We talked with Austin Kendall coming into this game and Neil Brown, their head coach, that when they had the opportunity, they had to take shots downfield. The weakness of Texas' defense, at least right now with all the injuries, is this secondary. And Todd mentioned it, you have to attack when you have the chance. You see the defender, B.J. Foster, in position, never found the ball. Sam James did a great job getting his hands under it. That ball did touch the ground, but it didn't help him make that catch. I think that's a touchdown.
James, the leading receiver for the Mountaineers in receptions and catches and their yardage this season. What a catch, going vertical and beating B.J. Foster, who might have been thinking about a previous flag. West Virginia runs 4 plays on offense, all 4 passing plays, and aided by the 2 penalties.
And exactly the way that Neil Brown wanted to start this football game. Take advantage of your home crowd, get them into the football game, throw the ball with Austin Kendall, get your best receiver into the game in Sam James.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called.
Hard to imagine a better start on a picturesque day here in Morgantown. Evan Staley, the junior, is on for the extra point. Perfect on the season, 11 for 11. And West Virginia draws first blood. Mountaineers have had the Longhorns number, winning 3 of the previous 4 matchups. Been really successful at DKR.
Well, now we're going to find out about these Texas Longhorns. They have not been out of the state of Texas. They've played 3 home games and a game at NRG Stadium, which was basically a home game for Tom Herman. And he wanted to know, how is his team going to respond going on the road in a hostile environment, and now they've taken the first punch.
Speaking of Coach Herman, down to Molly, who spoke with him just moments ago.
Yeah, that's right. Coach Herman said, grip it and rip it. That's what he said to Sam Ehlinger right before he took the field. He wants him to be aggressive, use this hostile environment as motivation. And Herman said that Ehlinger is at his best when an entire stadium is against him, but he's concerned about his younger players getting too emotional. He told them, none of these fans can come out of the stands and play you. When you're in someone else's house, you don't knock on the door. You don't ask permission. You break that door down. Steve?
Big start for West Virginia. We'll see how Texas responds after a bumpy landing here in Morgantown yesterday. Get off to a rocky start here. We'll see Texas's offense and Sam Ehlinger, who was a product of Westlake High School, same high school that produced Drew Brees.
What makes Sam so special is not only his ability to throw the football accurately and effectively and efficiently, also his ability to run. He's one of the toughest runners in all of college football. But beyond that, his character, his leadership ability, he has those Longhorns playing great football. They believe in him. They believe they can win every game, as they should, with him as their leader.
Well, thanks to Drew Brees, who's got some spare time on his hands lately. How good are the Saints playing with Teddy Bridgewater? Sam Ehlinger on first down. Will give it off to Keontae Ingram. Nothing doing there. It's a loss. It's Darius Stills for a loss of 5.
Boy, this West Virginia offense came out firing, and now it's Darius Stills, the nose guard, who's known for his quickness off the ball. That's his best trait on play number 1, is in the backfield for a target for loss.
2nd and 16. Quick out to the flat to Ingram, the back. He's out to the 23 for a gain of 3. Todd.
We're going to have to keep an eye on these Stills brothers all day long. 56, Darius Stills, you just saw him make the plays, the nose tackle, the quick first step, and the ability to disrupt up the middle. And then his brother, Dante Stills, who's even a better player, I think, wearing number 55. He's the 3 technique who penetrates and is the best pass rusher of this group. They're the best 2 players on this West Virginia defense.
Their line is meet me there, beat me there. And that means in the backfield, trying to find Sam Ehlinger this afternoon. Here's 3rd and 13. Pocket breaks down. Ehlinger to take off and run for it. He's got the first down, lowers the shoulder and gets some more. Out to the 40-yard line. Gain of 17 for Sam Ehlinger.
Well, Drew Brees just mentioned it, right? He's been throwing the ball much better, but this is what Sam Ehlinger has always been able to do. Use his feet and be physical and finishing runs in the secondary.
Texas converting on nearly 60% on 3rd down, 2nd best in the country, behind only Air Force coming into play today. Ehlinger with all sorts of time. Take a deep shot, middle of the field. And a lot of traffic. No flags. Brandon Eagles, the intended target. Josh Norwood is there.
Josh Norwood playing that deep free safety position, was not fooled, had the speed to get back in position, and incidental contact. Because Norwood looked back for the football, they're not going to call him for incidental contact.
Snap it. They get that off. No, they didn't. Here comes the flags.
It wasn't a delay of game because it did not come from the back judge. It came from the head linesman.
Ball start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I think Derek Kerstetter knew that the clock was ticking down. Sometimes those linemen will look up at the play clock and they're like, they know that you got to snap the football. But that one there was on Ehlinger. You got to get the play called, get it snapped, get going.
3 penalties already against Texas for 26 yards. Here's Ingram. Into the pile. That's not going to get a first down. Pick him a 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and long. And Darius Cowan makes the stop. Along with Josh Chandler. Cowan making his West Virginia debut after transferring from Alabama.
This crowd is in a lather early in this game on a big 3rd down. Sam Ehlinger needs to be careful.
Third and 13. West Virginia rushing just 3. In the middle of the field, Devin Duvernay. Josh Norwood the stop, and he has it. He got 16 on the play, needed 15.
Great read from Ehlinger. You see, he looks right initially, and it comes back to the middle of the field. Trust that Devin Duvernay is going to be in that position, because if he's not, that ball goes right into the hands of Josh Norwood. And why wouldn't he trust Devin Duvernay? He's got more balls than any receiver in college football this year.
No Colin Johnson for Texas. He is dressed. We did not expect to see him. It would be a different story if the opponent was Oklahoma today, for example. It's West Virginia. On 1st down and 10. Ehlinger to throw, deep shot, and it is knocked away. Brandon Eagles, the big target, running with Keith Washington, able to break it up.
Keith Washington has been tested now twice in this opening drive with deep shots to Brennan Eagles, and he's in better position than Eagles even You could almost argue that Eagles should have been flagged for pass interference coming over the back of Washington.
Both teams are coming out with the same mentality. They're attacking these secondaries. Both groups have suffered injuries. They've struggled covering the deep ball. And with a guy like Eagles, who's 6'4", 225, why not take a shot?
Try the ground game to Ingram. 3 on the play. 3rd down. Keith Washington made the stop there, along with Tykeet Smith. West Virginia really relies on their 2 corners, Washington and Akeem Bailey. They have played virtually every snap this season.
Last time, 3rd down situation, Texas. Ellinger's feet killed West Virginia. You got to cover the receivers, but you also have to account for Ellinger.
Mountaineers only rushed 3 last time as well. See if they bring a little more pressure.
And this is the spy on Ellinger right here.
Rushing 3 again. Ellinger has all sorts of time, and it is caught. Duvernay. Another 1st down. Gain of 10 on the play.
Right off the bat, Steve, you see what I think is the biggest change in Sam Ellinger from last year to this year. It's his progression. Watch his head. He's looking right, not there. Then he comes back over the middle of the field, shows patience, finds the open receiver. If you give him time, he's not just going to bail out of there with his legs. He's also going to beat you with his arm machine.
Duvernay among the leaders across the country in 3rd down receptions. There's one there. 10th play of the drive upcoming. Roshan Johnson on 1st down, a lean forward for a couple. Quandarius Quails makes the stop.
And Vic Koenig told us, the defensive coordinator from West Virginia, that they're going to have to cheat a little bit against the run. They know that Texas does not want to run Sam Ellinger on a lot of designed runs. He only has 13 designed runs this year compared to 36 at the same point a year ago. So they're not going to worry about the option as much, and they're going to focus on the running back when they go to that zone read type look.
McShay, stop reading my notes, will you?
You got it, bud.
Stay out of my stat package. 2nd and 8. West Virginia defense comes up big with Reuben Jones. No gain.
Give credit to Vic Koenig. He's got a couple of little wrinkles. You know, his defensive line is not as big as Texas offensive line, so he's got to move those guys around. So yes, the Stills brothers are going to have an impact, but Reuben Jones and Quandarius Quails both have to affect the run game.
This drive has been based on 3rd down conversions by Texas. Trailing early 7-0. Sold out crowd in Morgantown on 3rd and 9. Pass is caught. We'll see where they mark the forward progress. When Duvernay caught that ball, he had the necessary yardage and went back. They will give him the 1st down. It's a gain of 9. And Duvernay again on 3rd down. Little tempo here for Texas now. On the ground, Johnson, the former quarterback, turned running back, stopped by Dylan Tonkery for West Virginia.
Well, you got to think that Vic Koenig's now on 3rd down in particular going to have to start double teaming Duvernay. Why not, right? He's 3 times in this drive he's been targeted, and he's beaten man-to-man coverage. He's beaten zone. I think it's time that you have to double him.
Could we rush a 4th player too? Is that possible? A little pressure? Well, send somebody.
Always.
Where's the kitty cat? 2nd and 7. At the West Virginia 21. Here comes some pressure. Rushing 4 this time. Ellinger on the run. And couldn't settle down and find Cade Brewer. And it's 4th down. 3rd down, I beg your pardon.
So now's the opportunity, right? Find Devin Duvernay. He lines up typically in the slot and get a double team. The problem with that is then you're going to leave this really young secondary at the safety positions in one-on-one coverage.
Texas is already converted. 3rd and 13, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9. There's 3rd and 7 now.
There's one-on-one right now with Norwood right across from him. That's a mismatch in favor of Texas.
That's Duvernay in the slot. Moved inside this season, and it's paying off. Ellinger, a little pump. Wanted to go to Duvernay, and he's dropped for a loss. It's Qualls, brings him down.
Well, they didn't double team him initially, but they did drop the linebacker right underneath. Right when Sam wants to throw the ball, there's your linebacker. That's the double team. Josh Chandler underneath of Duvernay, and you get the sack.
Cameron Dicker, a 42-yard field goal attempt. He's 4 of 5 on the season. On the way, and no good. Missed it to the left. And it's all going right early on for the home team. Snap and plays good. Just pushed it to the left. Still 7-0, West Virginia. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Both Texas and West Virginia coming off byes. When we last saw the Mountaineers in action, back on the 21st, won at Kansas 29-24. Texas had an old-fashioned shootout at home against Oklahoma State, winning 36-30 off the missed field goal. West Virginia comes out firing, and it's intercepted. Kendall is picked off by Deli Adeoye. And there's your first turnover of the game.
You want to be aggressive. You want to push the ball down the field. Your quarterback's feeling it. Had a nice touchdown pass on the first drive, but you force this one. Right when he goes to throw it, he's trying to fit it right behind that linebacker, and that's just too tight, especially in your own end of the field, to take that risk. Austin Kendall hasn't played a whole lot of football, right? This is his first opportunity. He wants to make a statement against Texas, but he makes a mistake.
West Virginia refuses to run the football. They have yet to rush today. 5 offensive snaps, and they put it in the air every time. That time it's picked off. Chance for Texas to capitalize on the turnover as they start at the 27 of West Virginia. Keontae Ingram is set back. Ingram will rush right up the middle. Halfway towards another first down.
Keontae Ingram is a heck of a football player. And I think he's brought some balance to this Texas offense. Obviously, Sam Ehlinger is going to get a lion's share of the carries in short yardage goal line situations. But out in the field, it really focused on Ingram this year.
2nd down and 5. Ehlinger to throw for it. And more. End zone caught. Touchdown. Malcolm Epps went up and got it. He boxed out the defender for West Virginia.
That was Nick Troy Fortune, the corner, who's a true freshman. A little bit of hands. That's not pass interference there on Epps. That's just a good no call. But, you know, why not take a shot with Epps? His size at 6'6", 245 pounds against Nick Troy Fortune, who's a true freshman at 6 feet.
Here's Dicker. Off the missed field goal attempt. He's a perfect 21 for 21 on the season extra points. And there are zeros on the play clock.
Delay a game on a kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Try.
When you talk about West Virginia, they come out, they get all the momentum, they get the big play on offense, they score the touchdown, they get a stop on defense, and if you're Neil Brown, your quarterback goes back out there with the first pass of that second series and takes a risk that he didn't need to, but that's where West Virginia is right now. It's not consistent, it's up and down, and when you make mistakes like that, Texas is going to make you pay.
Pushing back 5 yards. Dicker's extra point on the way and good. 5:52 left here in the first quarter. Texas makes West Virginia pay for the turnover.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Dollar General. Save time, save money every day on tailgate favorites from General Mills. And Pillsbury. Make the most of family time with Pillsbury.
Would you schedule your homecoming with Texas in town?
Yeah, not ideal.
Right? Really want to get that kind of attention? Hey, Florida's doing with Auburn in town.
Yeah.
Same kind of deal. Maybe that's a new trend. Parade held last night from downtown Morgantown. Taco Bell celebrating student sections and passionate fans like these by awarding the Live Moss Student Section of the Year. The West Virginia Mountaineers Student Section already on the national watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete or get the committee's attention by using the hashtag LiveMoss Student Section Contest.
I love the stripe out here today. It's really cool looking.
Very cool. Usually you have your homecoming opponent as somebody with a north, south, east, or west in it. Not Texas. Here's Sam James. Had a nice return earlier. Has another nice return. He is running over people. Out to the 39-yard line. Plastic Dicker, the kicker. As we send it back to Cassidy Hubbard for the first time.
Thanks, Steve. This Big Play Studio update is brought to you by CarMax. To the Swamp, first possession for Florida, Kyle Trask. To Freddie Swain, nice grab, then finds the gap and dusts everybody for the 64-yard score. Gators up 7-3 on Auburn. Oklahoma, Kansas finished up over on ESPNU. Carter Stanley to Steven Robinson. The Sooners would win that one 45-10. Steve, Brian, Todd, back to you.
All right, Cassidy, thank you. So that was a similar sort of trap game for Oklahoma. Had the focus, no problem there with Kansas. Well, Kansas had a 7-0 lead in that game.
Got a stoppage of play here.
That was a 30-yard return for Sam James. They're going to look at the end of the play. And again, that's Dicker, which happens to rhyme with kicker. And Dicker lowers his helmet.
Well, that's a scary situation for Dicker. Obviously, he doesn't make a whole lot of tackles, doesn't know how to form tackle, and he lowers his head. That's very dangerous. But they might be looking at the crown of the helmet on Dicker, the kicker. So that's material, obviously, for Texas, because if they throw him out of the game for targeting right here, then it's obviously to your second kicker.
That would change the complexion of everything.
But by the definition of the rule, right, he lowers his head and uses the crown of the helmet to hit the runner, which by definition is targeting. Obviously, I don't think it was intentional, but it just was poor form by a kicker trying to make a tackle. And again, I think it's important that everybody realize that these rules are for the protection of the tackler much more so than the runner, and that was a dangerous situation for Cameron Dicker to put his neck in there like that.
He definitely got the worst of that. Chris Nagar is the backup kicker, the junior from Arlington, Texas. Here we go.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. First down, West Virginia.
Can you get Rogers on the horn, please? He's texting us as we speak, Rogers Redding. You know, I was wondering, that could have been history. Do you think a kicker has been ejected from a game for targeting?
I don't know. I find it highly doubtful.
Don't believe we've seen that.
I tell you what, though, Tom Herman just exhaled.
Wow. Interesting start to this one in Morgantown. And again, West Virginia refuses to run the football. They pass it to Alex Sinkfield out of the backfield. It's a gain of 2. Brandon Jones makes the stop. Neil Brown was named head coach at West Virginia back on the 5th of January, this being the 5th of October. I did the math for you. That's 9 months. You could make the argument his era really starts here today at home.
There's no question. I mean, they're 3-1, and they had an ugly loss at Mizzou, but they didn't play very well. But they come back, and they've beaten some good teams. They beat NC State in a tight ball, and then last week they beat Kansas. So 3-1's a pretty good start.
Texas on the blitz, picked up, and a crushing hit from B.J. Foster. And a flag comes in now.
Boy, and B.J. Foster, he may have hurt himself.
That was Kennedy McCoy out of the backfield.
Yeah, you see, he's up in the top of his neck there. That's normally when they get a stinger. When you get a stinger, that's what you feel tingling in the top of your neck, and that's exactly why they don't want these guys lowering their head in these situations.
And again, Foster is just returning from injury.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 25. That play is under further review.
We're going to take a couple looks at it. The injury to Foster had been his hamstring. This potentially is much more serious.
Well, he's been out with a hamstring since the LSU game, and come back and take a look at this. He lowers that head. And this is material because Texas already playing without 4 players in their secondary. Welcome back to Morgantown. Take a look at B.J. Foster's helmet. See how his helmet goes down, and that's the first thing that hits the receiver. Very dangerous situation for him. He comes up with a stinger. The question is, did he have his face mask up? Was his head up enough? Because he didn't hit in the head or neck area, so it would have to be a crown of the helmet foul.
After review, there is no foul for targeting. Third down.
And I think that's a situation there where you're not hitting in the head or neck area, so you're hitting the body, and the only question really is he using the crown of his helmet? I think they felt like enough of the face mask was up. That could have gone either way.
Foster is in the injury tent right now being attended to. Montrell Estelle is in. They took that targeting call standing out of the language. It is either confirmed or overturned. There is no the call stands anymore. And it really is, I think, to give the benefit of the doubt to the defensive player initially called for targeting. So no ejection, but an injury we'll keep an eye on. There's Kennedy McCoy out of the backfield for a gain of 5.
Well, it's worth mentioning, we don't know if B.J. Foster's going to be able to come back into this football game. I think they'd be very cautious with him with that injury. Obviously, to come back into this football game, you know who they're playing next week, but they're already without Caden Stearns and DeMarvion Overshown, as Todd mentioned off the top, at that safety position, playing without 2 more corners. So this secondary has been decimated for Texas.
Josh Groudon will punt it away. Brandon Jones is back deep. They'll let it bounce, and it will be downed inside the 1. George Campbell down to the right spot. Goes a 55-yard punt. And for now, that stands. Texas first and 10 inside their own 1 when we come back. 7-all. West Virginia and Texas. And the Longhorns have the football. Backed up at their own 1-yard line. Closed end of the stadium. Ellinger with some time throws, and it is caught. It's Devin Duvernay. Who else? And he stays on his feet, rumbling out just shy of the 40-yard line. A gain of 37 on first and 10 from your own 1.
Well, no play this season exemplifies how much Sam Ellinger has grown than that one right there. I can't tell you how hard it is to stand in your own end zone, take a 7-step drop, throw a layered throw on a deep out route like that to Duvernay. That's as good as you can do.
I was standing 5 yards behind him, and I was nervous for him.
Protection was really good there. Here comes a blitz by West Virginia. It's picked up nicely by Ingram, the back. But in the end, then Darius Cowan able to bring him down on the sack. Loss of 4 on the play.
Boy, and Keontae Ingram stepped up to pick up that blitz, and he's down on the field. He is hurt, and that's a big blow for Texas. He has been a revelation as a true sophomore. You're going to see in this blitz pickup situation a big linebacker coming through the middle. You got to put your face in there, and Ingram's not a small guy by any stretch, but he's in obvious pain.
Running backs have been, the health of running backs for Texas has been a real issue. At one point, the running backs were practicing in green jerseys. They could not afford to lose any of those backs. You see Ingram gives the old college try.
He goes in there, and sometimes you'll just go in and cut that linebacker, especially if he's bigger than you, but he decides to stay up and look like he was favoring the left side of his body, and he's up now running off the field. It's a good sign. You mentioned the injuries. Kirk Johnson, Daniel Young, Jordan Whittington, who's a true freshman who they're really excited about. It's been battling a sports hernia. And we're going to get a heavy dose of Roschon Johnson now. The quarterback, he's a true freshman that moved unselfishly to running back. We're going to call on him now.
2nd down and 15 with Ingram off. at their own 32. Underneath, shallow cross, caught, the ball comes out. They're going to say incomplete pass on the field. Cade Brewer was the intended target. Darius Stills and Josh Norwood able to break it up.
Josh Norwood makes a great play here. You don't want these safeties to hit up in the head or neck area, so this is what's going to happen. They're going to hit right on the thigh board, and that's as good as you could do it by Norwood. And I think that's the right call of an incomplete pass.
3rd and 15. Texas has had no trouble converting these lengthy 3rd downs. Let's see. Pressure up the middle, try to set up the screen. Roshan Johnson couldn't handle it. Qualls came on the pressure on Ellinger. They had it set up perfectly, but Johnson could not hang on. 4th down. And a drive that started so promising for Texas from their own 1 washes out.
Well, when they lose Keontae Ingram, I think there was a little bit of panic on that sideline. He's been such an important part of this offense. They need to regroup over there. They brought Roshan Johnson in, but they didn't decide to run the ball with him. They just had him lined up as receiver.
Ryan Buchevsky to his right with some pressure, and will run it and then punt it away. Alex Sinkfield on the return, and he's taken down at the 24-yard line.
The injury bug has been a big part of the season for Texas, and it continues to be.
Welcome back to West Virginia. It is a full house in Texas's medical tent right behind me. Running back Keontae Ingram is in there. He was looking at and pointing to the left side of his neck. Also in there, B.J. Foster. He's being evaluated for a left shoulder injury. No word yet on whether or not he'll return. Also, safety Chris Brown nursing a thigh injury sustained in the first drive, Steve.
Need a bigger tent.
A team meeting in there.
Miley will keep you updated on all the injury news. If I'm West Virginia, I try to run the ball one time. It's just one time.
There you go.
And here it is. Kennedy McCoy. First carry. There you go. On 1st down. 1st down yardage. Joseph Osai the stop, but not until McCoy had a gain of 18. Well blocked.
Yeah, nice job by this offensive line up front. We've got some young guys playing at the center and left guard positions, and Mays and Miter. Colton McKivitz, 53, is their best player on offense at left tackle.
Here's McCoy. Make a few people miss, lower the shoulder, and fall forward for a couple. There's a flag down. Montrell Estelle made the stop, and again, he's in for Foster for now. Brad Van Vark has been rather busy this afternoon. Still 2.5 to play in this 1st quarter.
Holding offense, number 18. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
Sean Ryan, a sophomore receiver out of Brooklyn.
And Neil Brown is the head coach, obviously, but he's also the play caller from the sideline. He's got a small play sheet because he memorizes the calls. Every single, he has 60, 70 calls in a game, and he'll memorize all of them. That's the kind of coach he is. He's got a photographic memory, and this is the last time you'll hear me say that you and he were on the same page with that run call.
Got it. Some Rain Man stuff there. Let's get into a casino. On the ground, Kennedy McCoy, and why not? Deli Adeoye, who had the interception earlier that Texas cashed in the points, made the stop, but not until a 9-yard gain.
It's an important drive here for Neil Brown in West Virginia. Obviously, you had a frenetic pace to start the game. You get the touchdown, then you get the turnover, and they tie it up. And now we've kind of gone back and forth with some injuries, some targeting calls. West Virginia has an opportunity here right before the end of the 1st quarter to take back momentum of this game.
2nd down and 11. Here's McCoy trying to turn the corner, and he does. Good little burst of speed for the senior from Lexington, North Carolina. Gain of 4 on the play.
This offensive line for West Virginia's got their hands full with the nose guards. Keandre Coburn right in the middle, number 99. He is a specimen at 340 pounds. He's just a redshirt freshman, but he is a man. If you don't know his name, you will after this game's over.
He's the next great one for Tom Herman. When you look at the lineage that he's had, including Poona Ford, who's played way better than his draft status was coming out in the NFL, and I was reminded of that. But Coburn is a special talent.
3rd down and 7, final minute of the quarter. Some pressure up the middle. Kendall to McCoy, and that's incomplete. And it will be 4th down. The offensive line has been an issue for West Virginia. Even McKivitz called it a jumbled mess. He was really refreshingly honest. He said the older guys didn't want to play as hard as the younger guys. He said now guys are coming early to team meetings in the offensive line, and they've really gelled. Again, him and Wickline on the tackles were good, but the interior line, due to injuries and I guess poor play, now they've sort of settled things down and figured it out. It's been much better offensive line play the last couple of games. Brandon Jones will run a fair catch at the 18. It's a 38-yard punt. We talked about the true freshman, Roschon Johnson. What a story he is. Came in as a highly recruited quarterback. Saw all the injuries at the running back position. Went to Coach Herman and said, hey, it's not fair, all those guys got to get carries. I think they really thought about redshirting him, and why wouldn't you?
Well, they may still redshirt him. Obviously, you have 4 games, but Roschon Johnson came to Coach Herman. Herman was going to go forward, and Roschon said, listen, there's too much pressure being put on Keontae Ingram. Let me take some of the pressure off. Remember, he's a quarterback, and they still have plans for him to be a quarterback, but right now, he's their best running back option outside Ingram.
On the ground, Ellinger to throw. But Devin Duvernay thought he might try to throw one there. The screen works out. It is a penalty flag down. Washington brought down Duvernay, but after a gain of 7 on the play, we'll check that penalty marker.
Holding offense, number 81. Half the distance to the goal. Replay, 1st down.
Reese Lato, the tight end, called for holding. So they come out of the 4th game, the win over Oklahoma State, and they have a conversation. And Johnson says to Coach Herman, what do you think? And Herman says, I think you're still the 2nd best tailback on the team. You're not going to play quarterback here next year either.
Well, that's the thing that Coach Herman said, right, is you're not going to beat out Sam Ellinger in his senior year. So why not, give it a shot? But I do think probably the biggest thing is going forward, Roschon Johnson is going to be the quarterback after Sam Ellinger, and he's built in the same way at 220 pounds.
Ellinger trying to get out of there. Tackled down from behind by Jordan Jefferson after the gain of 3. But that's an important point. I think people think about the red shirt, always the freshman. You can redshirt your junior year if you want to.
Right. Well, he could redshirt next year, right? When you still have Ellinger, and if you get a healthy stable of running backs, then he can do it there. But I think, Roschon Johnson, he can throw the football. Obviously, we know he can run. So the great thing for Herman is you don't have to change the offense very much once Ellinger is gone.
An unselfish player in every way. First quarter is complete. Home squad got off to a big start. Then Texas forced a turnover. Touchdown of their own. We're 7-all on our way to the 2nd quarter.
Cape News, always on your side.
Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, Molly McGrath from Morgantown, West Virginia, as we open up quarter number 2, continuing the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive game of the week. 7-7 here at a sold-out Milan Pushkar Stadium, Mountaineer Field, as we begin quarter number 2. Ellinger to throw, able to complete. It's Malcolm Epps, who is on the receiving end of the lone touchdown pass. It's a gain of 5. Ellinger has 10 touchdown passes of 20 yards or longer this season. That's the exact opposite, right? That's the big problem for Austin Kendall. And Ellinger has excelled in that department.
Well, it'll be interesting to see with Tim Beck, without Keontae Ingram, really only one healthy back in Roschon Johnson, whether this becomes more of a pass-heavy game for Ellinger.
3rd and 11. Too high, could not hook up with Brennan Eagles. Good coverage by Norwood of West Virginia.
A great job by Keith Washington from his corner position. You're going to see him come out of the screen here, trying to throw this ball to the outside. Here he is right here. Washington just reads the eyes and gets a finger on that ball. Washington has made a number of nice plays early in this game.
Formation for the Longhorns. Back to return for the Mountaineers.
Luchevsky from his own 5. Sinkfield is back deep for West Virginia. And he will let it roll. And West Virginia will start with excellent field position from their own 39-yard line. Tonight, top 25 showdown in the Big Ten. Michigan State, Ohio State from the shoe in Columbus, 7:30 Eastern, right here on ABC, streaming on the ESPN app. Chris, Kirk, and Maria will have that for you. November of 2014, in this matchup, Ezekiel Elliott went off at a buck 54 and 2 scores. Michael Thomas, 91 receiving yards, and current Texas head coach Tom Herman was the offensive coordinator for the Buckeyes, and Ohio State went on to beat Bama in the semifinal and Oregon in the championship game, and could make the argument the success of that offense set Tom Herman up to be hired as head coach at Houston, and now on to Texas, where he is enjoying success. Lenny Brown, his first carry, first down yardage. Gain of 11 on the play. A sophomore from Philadelphia.
It'll be interesting to see the cat and mouse game here with Neil Brown calling plays and Todd Orlando on defense for Texas. Obviously, they're hurt. They've got to protect the secondary.
The throw is caught. T.J. Simmons bounces off, stays on his feet, down the sideline. He's inside the 5-yard line. There's the big chunk play the Mountaineers were looking for. 44 yards. T.J. Simmons from Austin Kendall.
And why not, if you're Neil Brown, attack that secondary, continue to push the ball down the field. That time a missed tackle by Brown.
Eddie Brown inside the 5. Let's see the pinball machine here.
Well, this is Chris Brown, number 15, is playing that backup secondary position. Just comes up, tries to make a big hit, but doesn't wrap.
How about Simmons staying on his feet there? Back to Eddie Brown. Just shy of the goal line. It's 3rd down. Gain of 2 on the play.
And this is not going to be just easy pushing this ball in with Keandre Coburn, Malcolm Roach. Got to get the ball to the perimeter.
Keeper, Kendall, walks in untouched. Touchdown, West Virginia. Back and forth we go.
Yeah, you got injuries for Texas, and you got a quarterback in Austin Kendall that's continuing to get more and more comfortable with Neil Brown calling plays, and all of a sudden, this looks like a little bit of a trap for the Longhorns.
Evan Staley on the extra point, 14-7 Mountaineers.
Great play fake from Austin Kendall. Everybody goes for the back. There's nobody left for the quarterback.
And the joint is jumping. They've striped the stadium. I'm not sure when I was in college, I would have been able to figure out what color to wear, what section I'm in. People here,
one guy with white on.
the people really are really good at following directions.
You were always that one guy.
I'd be the one guy in a white shirt. That's beautiful.
That's a great scene here, and they're excited. Neil Brown's got a little buzz coming here in Morgantown at 3-1, and now up 14-7 against the hated Texas Longhorns.
Have we seen anybody flash the horns down yet?
Just a few.
Get into that story as the afternoon develops, just in case you're not aware, wherever you're watching. There's Duvernay from the 15. Devin Duvernay picking his spots out to the 31. Set for an update. Back to Cassidy.
Thanks, Steve. It's a messy one in the swamp. After the 5th turnover of the game, Florida capitalizing on an Auburn interception. Kyle Trask to Josh Hammond. Trask with 2 touchdown passes and 3 fumbles. Gators up 14-6 in the second, Steve.
That is messy. So Gino did a piece on Game Day this morning, Grease, about Kyle Trask, and I did not realize it. He did not start a single game in high school.
That was a great story Gino did, and what a credit to Trask, right?
Can you imagine you're starting in the SEC and you couldn't start 1 game in high school?
I put that on the coaches of that high school.
Oh, they're feeling it right now, don't you worry. And you just made it worse, too, by the way. There's Roschon Johnson, the ball carrier on first down. It's a gain of 4. Vandarius Cowan makes the stop.
Well, we talked about it. You know, without Keontae Ingram, it's going to be a heavy dose of Roschon Johnson. The question I have is, how much more is Tom Herman going to allow Sam Ehlinger to run the football? They've tried to protect him out in the field, not having him take so many hits, but they may need him in this game without Ingram.
2nd down and 6. Ehlinger to throw. Protection is excellent. Shot down the sideline. Eagles had no chance at that one. Working on Akeem Bailey. Big story in Morgantown today and this week. No Giovanni Stewart. We talked with Coach Brown about it. He said, look, he's not playing and he's not hurt. Rather murky situation going on with him. With the 4-game redshirt rule in play, they'll make a decision and finalize things probably next week, but still, they're banged up in the secondary as well. He's one of their better players back there, the senior from Katy. It's been a big story here in town.
Yeah, you would think, you know, being from Katy, Texas, he'd want to be in this game to play against the Longhorns.
3rd and 6. Ehlinger out of there. He'll throw to Johnson out of the backfield. And an excellent tackle made. That's Keith Washington got a hand on the foot, just enough for him to bring him down.
That's another part of his game, Brian. That thing has gotten so much better. Ehlinger is so patient in the pocket. He trusts his protection, and that allowed him to go through his progressions and finally find Johnson out in the flat.
Well, Todd, this is the best offensive line that Sam Ehlinger and Tom Herman have had at Texas.
No question.
Talking with them yesterday, they were really confident in these guys up front.
1st down and 10. On the ground, it is Johnson. Out to the logo in midfield. Dante Stills made the stop, and I believe the quote from Tom Herman was, I can't really quote him on TV, but he said, we blocked the hell out of LSU, or something along those lines. Of course, you know, they didn't win that game. It came up short 45-38, but the offensive line really did a job in that game.
Yeah, Sam Cosby, the left tackle, blocking Palavion Chase on.
Johnson again. A strict diet of Roschon Johnson. Reuben Jones makes the stop. Ingram hurt. Jordan Whittington is already out of the lineup of a sports hernia surgery, and they are banged up there. Kirk Johnson is now checked into the game.
Yeah, so they're lucky to have Kirk Johnson back. He came off a shoulder injury, so they need him, obviously, to take the load now off of Roschon Johnson.
Johnson has yet to carry on the season. Daniel Young is potential to play in the game. He has 4 rushes this season. And Ehlinger to throw. Short hops it. Could not hook up with Marcus Washington, true freshman from St. Louis. Again, at one point they had 1 scholarship running back on the roster. That was Ingram. The running backs are practicing in the green jerseys. Is that a common? Running backs don't get hit in practice? That's how thin they were at the running back position.
Yeah, it's been a problem. And the other problem that's starting to rear its head here is being on the same page with Ehlinger and these receivers on the outside. Obviously, he's in sync with Duvernay, but somebody else outside of Colin Johnson. Colin Johnson is a superstar wide receiver, but they don't want to play him today. They want him to be 100% healthy to play next week against Oklahoma. But some of these other guys need to step up. Brennan Eagles, we've seen him be off page with Ehlinger a couple times in this game. Washington's been not on the same page. They've got to get that worked out.
So here's a 3rd down, and Duvernay is not on the field, has not been for this entire series. That's Washington in motion, top of your screen, for a 3rd and 4. Inside the 40 of West Virginia. trailing by 7. There's some Mountaineer pressure. Ellinger unloads and completes to Washington. Needed 4 and got 14. First down, Texas.
Really smart there from Sam Ellinger. That's a big third down conversion. They gave free access to Washington on the outside. And what I mean by free access is the corner's not up in your face. He's deep. So just run a 5-yard hitch. That's all you need to get the first down and execute the play.
Johnson remains in the backfield. Senior from San Jose. Back from his own shoulder injury. 9:20 to go in the half. At the West Virginia 25. On the ground is Johnson. Wrapped up, but Johnson will keep those legs churning until the whistle blows and picks up 7. There's nothing there, and he made 6 yards out of it.
And West Virginia is substituting wholesale their defensive line. Last couple of plays, they haven't had the Stills brothers in. But now you get down in this red zone area, and Vic Koenig, the defensive coordinator, is going to get his best players back on the field.
Koenig said he listens daily to Joel Osteen for helps him with life's daily challenges. Here's a challenge here today at Texas Stadium. Handoff, beautiful hole. Roshan Johnson has first down yardage, gain of 6. Excellent block from the tight end, Cade Brewer.
Yeah, great blocking up front. You mentioned Darius Stills. He gets off the ball, but it's a nice job at trapping him by Parker Braun, the left guard. Braun's been a nice addition to this offensive line. He was a first-team All-ACC player last year at Georgia Tech and transferred in, and he has made an immediate impact on this offensive line.
See how good Texas has been in the red zone. Who needs field goals? They don't have any on their 14 trips. 12 touchdowns, no field goals, and turn it over a couple times on downs.
Tom Herman running out here onto the field to get that last time out.
You think he wants the time out there then? Certainly looked that way.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Mazda. Feel alive. Pacific Life, 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future. And Coca-Cola. Share a Coke this football season with your friends, family, and fans.
Celebrating the 50-year anniversary of this Peach Bowl team. And Bobby Bowden was the offensive coordinator for West Virginia. He knew it'd be a mud bowl. He installed the wishbone 2 weeks before the game. Eddie Williams ran for 208 yards. The Mountaineers attempted 2 passes. 2.
I was surprised. That's in that mud, I wouldn't have attempted any passes.
West Virginia beat South Carolina 14-3. Here's Ellinger to throw. End zone, making it look easy. It's John Burt all by himself and in front of Keith Washington. And we're an extra point away from a tie game.
Now, Keith Washington has played an excellent football game so far, but he just gets tangled up here. He's got one-on-one coverage on John Byrd, and for some reason, he's in a backpedal in the middle of the end zone. Why would you backpedal in the middle of the end zone? You can't run back of the end zone. That was just a mental breakdown from Washington, and a nice job by Ellinger identifying an easy touchdown.
Here's Dicker, who was nearly ejected earlier in the game for targeting. You heard me right. Stayed in the game. 7:56 left in the half, and we're tied at 14-all. Today's Aflac trivia question. I'll wait. Aflac. Thank you. Who was the last transfer quarterback to win a national championship?
Oh.
Transfer
quarterback to win a national championship. Okay, let's see, Cam Newton was a transfer. He won a national championship. Is he the last?
You guess. I'm going to say.
How much time are you going to give me? You going to jam me with this again?
I'll give you till after the kickoff.
All right.
Don't let him, don't look.
Let's see, Alabama and Clemson. Let's go through their transfer quarterbacks there. No transfers to Clemson. I got it.
Might be on to something.
I got it.
You're good.
He started at Florida State, ended up at Alabama.
Did you cheat?
Cheat?
I don't know.
Oh, you hide that thing from me now.
You're pretty dishonest when it comes to the athletic trivia question. 14 all.
Right.
Reese has wandering eyes.
Underrate the play of the half. Touchback. Bring it out to the 25. We won't make you wait that much longer. The last transfer quarterback to win a national championship. And the answer is
Jay Coker.
Jay Coker. At Florida State, he backed to B.J. Manuel, then lost the starting job to Jameis Winston as a redshirt sophomore. Coker transferred to Alabama. He was the backup to Blake Sims for winning the starting job his senior year.
We have that question for what reason? Because Austin Kendall, we think they're going to win the national championship? Or are we talking about Jalen Hurts?
You were looking for the tie-in.
Yeah, where's the tie-in?
Not sure.
See B.J. Foster, that's a good sign for Tom Herman, back out on the field at safety.
Martell Pettaway in the backfield for West Virginia. And Kendall's going to keep it, and he will slide down. Austin Kendall all of a sudden thinks he's Sam Ehlinger. There is a flag down. Joseph Asai, does he look guilty? Let's see.
After the player was down, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 4 to 6 of the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Guilty as charged. Here's Molly.
Well, Steve, Texas coaches are telling the secondary to focus on the fundamentals, saying wrap them up on contact or you're going to get beat. I'm seeing way too many missed tackles. And they also said, you see that last touchdown? See that as a wake-up call. We can't afford any mistakes. You guys need to respond here. Steve.
Thank you, Molly. First down and 10. On the ground, here's Pettaway. Another first down for West Virginia. Brandon Jones came up to make the stop, gain of 11.
Well, the recipe is there now for West Virginia to run the football because Todd Orlando is going to play it safe and protect his secondary.
Going fast, T.J. Simmons. And the Mountaineers down to the Texas 21.
And this tempo now by West Virginia starting to take its toll. Texas struggled against LSU when they went super fast.
It's Sean Ryan for a couple. Anthony Cook, the sophomore from Houston, stop after the gain of 2. Under 7 to play. Kendall to throw for it, and Simmons could not hang on. That Oklahoma State victory was costly for Texas. They lost 3 starters in the defensive backfield. Jalen Green out with a shoulder. They hope Green can be back in a couple of weeks. Lost Josh Thompson. He has the most serious of the injuries. A broken foot put a pin in it. That could be a season-ending deal. And Cade Stearns, a knee injury, their top tackler. They hope to get him back. But that was a costly victory. Third down and 9. Lucky to get Foster back this game. He goes out, then comes back in.
That play clock was down to 4, yeah, and then Neil Brown called a timeout, which was a smart timeout. Big third down coming up.
Yeah, so don't go away.
Cassidy Hubbard from the studio update. More from a wild one in the swamp. After a failed Florida fake punt, Bo Nix, perfect placement to Seth Williams to bring Auburn within 1. Now, Florida QB Kyle Trask left the game with a leg injury. We'll keep you posted on that, Steve.
All right, Cassidy, thank you very much. Cassidy, key update on that critical game today at the Swamp. Gainesville. Another quarterback goes down for Florida. Let's see.
Big 3rd and 9 situation here for Austin Kendall. Looks like Texas is going to bring a little bit more pressure.
3rd and 9, running with Pettaway to the line of scrimmage, stays on his feet. He'll get a couple. Keandre Coburn makes the stop.
That was a very conservative call from Neil Brown. I think he ran the ball there and see if he could get into a 4th and 4 or less situation. He probably would have gone for it, but he didn't quite get enough. And so he's going to bring the field goal unit out.
I'm going to be honest, I'm really surprised he ran the ball there. How well your quarterback Kendall's playing and how much confidence he's had in the matchup you have against this secondary.
Evan Staley is on to attempt a 36-yard field goal in West Virginia to give the Mountaineers the lead, and it is no good. Staley had made 17 of 18 in his career inside of 40 yards and made 14 in a row, but not this one.
Yeah, now both kickers have missed early in this game. But what a stop there for Todd Orlando and this Texas defense, right? They've been decimated in the secondary. Haven't had really, the playmakers back there, but this might be one of those high-scoring affairs with all the injuries on defense.
Texas got off to a rough start. They actually bounced on the runway here in Morgantown. They had a bumpy landing here when they arrived yesterday, and they're up against it here today. On offense now, trying to do something with Roschon Johnson. Good second effort by John. He's a fun player to watch. You can tell already. Gain of 16 on the play.
As a former quarterback, this guy's got some leg strength. I mean, he's strong. You can see it. You don't expect that from a quarterback that's moving over from that position to running back.
Hey, and Devin Duvernay is there, as you see, in the slot position. So he's back in the lineup for Texas.
Todd does see how big Ellinger's legs are, right?
I do.
Okay.
He's right next to him. Yeah. He should be able to see him.
There's not many like him.
Here's Ellinger now. Throws and completes to Brennan Eagles. It's a gain of 3. Bailey on the coverage.
Todd, looking at Ellinger and Johnson next to each other, they're very similar, right? 162, 163. They're both over 220 pounds.
They are. Ellinger's a little thicker, but you can tell with the leg strength, and they look a lot alike. Obviously, both mobile, and we've seen Johnson just in pregame, the ability to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Here's Johnson, cross midfield, first down yardage. He'll keep running for more. Gain of 14 on the play. Guzman and Bailey made the stop.
What I love is his patience and vision. Look at this vision here. I mean, that's pretty easy to read, but to get north and south, to get skinny through the hole, to be able to understand the running game. Imagine when Roschon Johnson then goes back to quarterback. His understanding of the offense is going to be that much better. Blocking schemes, blitz pickups, and the running game. All those things are going to help him when he does go back, if he does go back to quarterback.
Got a good guy to learn from, and Sam Ellinger. Happy birthday, Sam. He turned 21 on Monday. I remember my 21st birthday.
Spent it a little differently.
Thank you, Todd. Sideline pass, a beauty to Cade Brewer inside the 20 of West Virginia. And Texas is in business after a gain of 25.
Give credit to Roschon Johnson again. Look at this blitz pickup. He stands in there and gives Ellinger just enough space to fit that ball into Brewer on the sideline.
On the second clap. Ellinger under some pressure, rolling to his right. We'll see if they're going to call that a catch. That is Duvernay, and he made the grab. Like the Superman dive out of bounds with the football.
Well, that play was well covered by West Virginia, but not covered well enough for Duvernay and Ellinger.
See if they're going to look at that.
On the field of a completed pass is under further review.
I thought Ellinger was throwing that one away. And then Duvernay popped into your screen, and we believe made the grab. At least that's the call on the field.
Well, they wanted to throw this ball back. It was a throwback call to Roschon Johnson. They wanted that. It wasn't there. Ellinger didn't give up on it and just kept rolling out, and he and Duvernay made a play.
See, you got to check the catch. And where is he when he made the catch?
That's a catch.
Oh, yeah. Shake it, don't break it. 60,000 on hand, having a good time.
That's how you entertain in a TV timeout,
That's
right?
right. Give you a little snippet of it. But you don't get that kind of enjoyment unless you buy a ticket and come out to the old stadium. And they have banged out the building here today. When we went away, they were looking at the catch. It was another catch for Duvernay. 5 catches, 81 yards on the afternoon for Devin Duvernay. That'll be the first time you see him smile in that picture on the bottom. He's all business, almost all the time. Ehlinger, pocket breaks down, running up the middle, and carried into the end zone for the touchdown. Sam Ehlinger, with nothing around him to do, takes off and hits pay dirt. Touchdown, Texas.
Come on the road and you're in a tight ball game, hostile environment, and you got to depend on your quarterback. And Sam Ehlinger's been up to the task. This play is beautifully covered by West Virginia. The only thing they can't account for are the legs of number 11. And if anybody is better in college football at finishing in the end zone, you want to show them to me?
Tom Herman says he doesn't get enough national love, Grease. We're, after all the awards, the award shows, bowl season, where's the love for Sam Ehlinger nationally? He's earning some more of that today. Ehlinger's 20th career rushing touchdown, the 5th quarterback in Texas history to do that.
Let's go back and take a look at this. Watch him go through his reads. He's got one read here, right, and then he's going to come here to 2, then 3, and then after all that's over, he's got this wide open field, and he makes that decision. That's impossible for a defense to defend 3, 4 routes and then still account for the quarterback. And if Sam Ehlinger can continue to play like that, I agree, he should be in the Heisman race.
I think he's playing better this year.
No question.
I think he's become a more complete quarterback, and he's always been able to do the running, but now he's standing in, going through progressions, and throwing more accurately. I've been impressed with how much he's improved from a year ago at this time.
And Todd, you got to give credit to the offensive line, too, because they're giving him time to go through his reads, whereas before, the last couple of years, he hasn't always had that time.
Touchback, West Virginia will get the football, trailing for the first time today. Take a look at today's Pacific Life game summary.
West Virginia came out gangbusters, throwing the ball down the field, make this play. Austin, Kendall, and James. But then the turnover, and they tied it up. And Kendall comes back and gets another touchdown. But Texas, they have so much firepower on offense. Despite the fact that they've lost Keontae Ingram in this game, they are still humming on the offensive side.
We still might be headed to that Big 12 shootout you were looking for, with 3.5 to play here in the first half. Set up Kennedy McCoy to get outside the 30. Gain of 5. A hard-hitting affair. Brandon Jones put a lick on him there. See the number on Kendall. Like to have that interception back, which led to the first Texas touchdown. But other than that, he's played a nice game. 2nd and 5. That's McCoy in motion. They'll give it to him. DeAndre Coburn stopped after the gain of 1. Get the attention of that West Virginia sideline.
Tell you what, I wouldn't run at him anymore.
Well, he's right in the middle. It's hard to run away from him. He's going to demand a double team on every snap, huh, Todd?
I completely agree. 340 pounds. He's got power, but what impresses me, you don't see many guys his size that can actually run. He can get off of blocks and go make plays. And I think, like I said earlier, I think he's got a chance to be one of the special players at Texas.
He beat out senior Gerald Wilbon for a starting job. That's really saying something to Texas. When a redshirt freshman can beat out a senior.
Prior to the snap, timeout, West Virginia. Their 2nd of the half. It'll be 30 seconds and win.
West Virginia will spend a timeout. They're still working on the equipment, the referee's microphone here today in the stadium.
Tom Herman couldn't say enough good things about Coburn. You see, he just pushes the center back. And, you know, they've had some good nose guards here. Poona Ford, Chris Nelson were both captains of this Texas team as nose guards. And Tom Herman thinks that Coburn has every opportunity as he gets older to be another captain in that lineage.
He said he's got 2 speeds, full and off. And, of course, his nickname is Snacks.
Of course.
Why wouldn't it be? And for Duvernay, who never smiles, apparently, can you imagine Coburn doing all of this, always with a smile on his face? Life is good. Keandre Coburn, why wouldn't it be?
I bet he goes full bore at the dinner table, too.
With a smile. 3rd and 4. Kendall underneath. Haskins able to duck under the defender and get the first down, yardage, gain of 6. Beats Deshaun Jameson.
Interesting here, West Virginia is deciding to slow it down. They've been going as fast as possible with Neil Brown, and now just under 2 minutes left in this first half, and they're slowing it down. Maybe they want to protect their defense. They've been on the field quite a bit, but 2-minute situation, you got to get some points here before halftime.
Set up the draw to Petaway for a few. Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime report. Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, and Mark Sanchez are standing by. Catch up to date, everything going on in the swamp and elsewhere around college football on this first Saturday of October. A little chill in the air. Kind of nice. Texas was bringing people, or maybe just a person, in Jawan Mitchell. And he ran across that line. He crossed the line, Grease. Mitchell's just a sophomore from Newark who's been pushing for playing time.
Offside. Defense, number 6. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down. West Virginia has chosen to start the play on the snap.
A little over-anxious is Jawan Mitchell. 7 penalties so far against Texas accepted for 60 yards. There's Petaway. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, this is a real conservative approach by Neil Brown before halftime. And I get it. You know, you just want to stay in the game here, but at the same time, you know, you're only going to have so many shots and so many possessions. And this Texas secondary has been decimated. Why not take some shots? You haven't gotten the ball to Sam James since the touchdown. Take a shot with him downfield.
And Texas will get the ball to start the second half. Final minute. 3rd down and 2. Approaching midfield. Just one timeout left.
Ticking off the clock.
Yeah, no urgency at all. Kendall to throw. Able to complete. It is Sean Ryan, but he stays in bounds. Clock will stop for the first down. Anthony Cook and Brandon Jones gain an 8 on the play. Evan Staley's career long is 49 if you were thinking about it. Singfield nearly has his head taken out by Joseph Asai. Gain of 3. 10 seconds left.
Yeah, now a timeout from Neil Brown. But it's too little too late now. You know, you wasted too much time early in this drive, and I think he would say, well, I want to make sure I got the tight end. I got the first down before I went fast, but like you can't have a conservative approach at the start of the drive and then want to hurry up at the end.
Tonight at 10, the middleweight championship is on the line. It's Robert Whitaker and Israel Adesanya. To order the main card in English and Spanish, go to ESPNplus.com/PPV. And Big 12 fans, ESPN Plus, the exclusive home of Big 12 Now. Sign up today, get Les Miles all-access show, and over 50 men's basketball games and hundreds of other Big 12 games. Adesanya said despite a 5-1 record, Grease, he won't return to boxing. He said, I don't want to fight some guy and say, oh, well, we'll duke it out. We're only using our hands. I've got to kick someone in the face. Now, you're not getting involved with ESPN Plus tonight? After that? Are you kidding me? Get involved. 13 ticks remaining.
Well, now you got to take a shot to the outside. Hopefully get out of bounds. Or if you are caught inbounds, you got to get about 10, 15 yards to get in Staley's range. You got to get up and spike the football.
Here's Kendall. Good protection. Kendall running, throwing, and let's see. Sideline traffic and a catch. Sam James, what a grab. 4 seconds left, and the ball's the 30.
All he does is make tough grabs. The touchdown catch was an unbelievable grab. And that time, that catch from James is going to at least give Staley an opportunity for a long one.
Looked like that ball might have hit the ground, too, similar to the touchdown catch. Here's Staley.
Take a look at that last catch. Certainly looked, when we looked at it live, that it was a catch, a good catch from James. Got the left foot in.
Good on that part.
Does he control it all the way to the ground? Does the ground help him make that catch?
I thought the ground helped on that one. So a few more looks for him.
I really can't tell from that angle.
Out of that angle.
But
ball on the field is good for a catch.
Yep. I don't see anything there that's going to overturn the call on the field. What a exciting first half of football. You know, West Virginia coming into this game, they had to be, if you told them at halftime you're going to be in a situation where you can attempt a field goal to make this a one-score game, I think they would have taken that.
James doesn't do anything the easy way. He had a spectacular grab. He just referenced it, Grease, for a touchdown. And they had to take a look at that as well. The ball clearly touches the ground, but you can see there, that's a good touchdown catch. He makes the catch regardless of the help from the ground. And how about on this one?
Well, you talk about a redshirt freshman stepping up for West Virginia and for Neil Brown. You know, there's no more David Sills, no more Gary Jennings. Those guys are gone, and they're looking for playmakers, Neil Brown is, and they have certainly found one in Sam James. He's been their most productive skill player this season.
No Marcus Sims, academic issues.
Right. They lost a ton of talent on the offense. Trevin Wesco was a great tight end, got drafted, and obviously Will Greer.
On the field of a completed catch, stands as called.
Stands as called. You know, that was one of the more amazing things. I think this would be shocking. West Virginia had 5 players drafted in the NFL. Texas had 2.
Yeah.
Right? You would never think West Virginia would have more players in any given year drafted in the NFL.
And 4 of them on the offensive side.
Right. David Long was the only defender.
So here's Evan Staley, which should be the final play of the half. 47-yard field goal attempt. Each team has missed a field goal kicking in this direction. And Texas will spend a timeout. Are we icing the kicker with 4 seconds left in the first half?
Yes.
Okay. Asked and answered. Thank you.
Well, he's already missed one. Why wouldn't Tom Herman call the timeout? Got to be thinking about it. Missed a chippy.
He missed from 36 earlier, again, down at the same end of the field.
There's not a significant wind, but there is wind blowing in his face.
The miss for Dicker was from 42, also at this end. Again, career long for Staley is 49. Hit a 44-yarder earlier this season against Kansas. On the way. And it won't curve home. And Staley has missed for the second time. 21-14 Texas to the half. State Farm halftime report with Kevin, Jonathan, and Mark after these messages.
Welcome back to the Dr. Pepper Championship Drive Game of the Week.
Morgantown, West Virginia. You're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. We get ready for third quarter action. 21-14. Longhorns lead the Mountaineers. Back in the broadcast booth with Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. We'll get to Todd and Molly shortly. So people should not be surprised. It's a one-touchdown game. West Virginia, they've had Texas's number, winning 3 of the last 4, including last year in Austin in that thriller.
I think Texas better be ready for a 4-quarter game. This is not going to be a blowout, but, you know, Sam Ehlinger is on pace to throw 42 passes in this game, 21 in the first half. He's responsible for all 3 touchdowns for Texas in the first half. He's going to need to play well in the second half to win this game.
And Texas gets the football to start the second half. Devin Duvernay will run it out about 4 yards deep out to the 20-yard line. Molly had a chance to catch up with head coach Tom Herman.
Coach, what is Keontae Ingram's status for the second half?
He got a stinger in the first half. X-rays were good. They're going to reevaluate him at halftime.
How has Sam Ehlinger responded to the adversity in this game thus far?
Oh, I think really well. You know, we're not running the ball as good as we thought we could. We got to get that fixed, but I think he's playing pretty dang good.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And Steve, I have confirmed from a team official that Keontae Ingram is available for this second half.
And he is in the game right now to open up the third quarter. He stands to the left of Sam Ehlinger. And he will carry on first down and 10. Crashes ahead for a gain of 5. Dante Stills, Josh Chandler. A stop for West Virginia coming out of the locker room.
That's a great sign for Texas offensively to have Ingram in this game. Looked like he had a stinger in that first half, but he is a special player. They are excited about him, the true sophomore. They just worked him in a little bit last year, but really he has become the feature back in this offense this season.
Put on 20 pounds, and at that age, in that position, that's a good thing, people, adding 20 pounds. Able to fight through tackles like that one from Quandarius Qualls, gain of 2 on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
Talking with Tim Beck, the offensive coordinator, he said he's really hard on himself, Keontae Ingram, pushing to be the best he could possibly be. After he dropped that touchdown against LSU, he kind of went in the tank in that game, but since then, he has been outstanding.
Little taunting from the home crowd. There's no flag for that. Now if the Mountaineers flash the horns down, that'll be a different story. Let's see. On 3rd and 3. Tight spiral completed to Malcolm Epps. First down, Texas.
That's the second time that Sam Ehlinger has just taken that free access hitch on the outside. As long as West Virginia is not going to come up and press the wide receivers on the outside on 3rd down, Sam Ehlinger is going to take it.
I've been impressed with Ehlinger all day on 3rd down. It seems like he's so poised. They've converted a lot of 3rd downs this afternoon to keep drives going.
He's not making it too hard, Todd. You know, if
Exactly.
you see the easy throw, take it.
Ingram spun around and taken down. No gain on the play. Tyke Smith, the true freshman from Philadelphia, makes a stop.
And Darius Stills, again, number 56, in the backfield. He's just so quick off the ball. And by the way, the guy he's beaten at the center position is a heck of a football player, Zach Shackelford.
Second down and 10. Ehlinger will run for it and take a hard hit. Shouldered down by Dylan Tonkery. Gain of 3 on the play.
And that's the hit that Tom Herman wants to avoid. Now, in the middle of the field, 2nd and long, you know, really nothing happening there. And your playmaker is taking a huge hit in Sam Ehlinger. But I think it goes to show you how much they're struggling to run the football when you have him running himself.
3rd down and 7. Texas 70% conversions on 3rd down. I don't know what the good number is, but 70% would be good. Need 7. Under pressure and taken down. finds Stills. Stills got just enough of Ellinger. It's a loss of 13 on a sack.
He's been in the backfield all game long. He's going to come up, and then they're going to wrap around. But Stills, he's setting up the rush for the outside, but doesn't give up on it. And you see the quickness and athletic ability to get to the quarterback.
Loss of 13, third sack by this West Virginia defense. Buchevsky able to just get it away. A flag comes down back at the 15-yard line. Took a Texas bounce. And we'll check the marker. Brad Van Vark was rather busy in the first half.
Well, that's exactly what West Virginia needed defensively, to come out after halftime and get a stop and give the ball back to Austin Kendall, an opportunity to go down here early in the third quarter and potentially tie this football game up.
Holding, kicking team number 80, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay fourth down.
And Neil Brown's going to make him kick it again, which I agree with that.
Holding on the kicking team.
Yeah, right in front of the punter, right in front of Buchevsky, there was a hold.
The tight end.
Yep. Especially agree with this in college, right? Make them snap it again, make the punter catch it again and kick it again, and now a great opportunity for really good field position for West Virginia.
Buchevsky's got good bloodlines. He's the cousin of Michael Dixon, the former all-world punter at Texas, now starring with the Seahawks in the NFL. Buchevsky gets that away. Sinkfield able to run up, make the catch, takes a couple of big hits. It's only a 34-yard punt. But Austin Kendall and West Virginia will start on the plus side of the football field. Back up at Oklahoma. Tough to back up a couple of guys better than Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, consecutive Heisman Trophy winners. So he was all involved in the game planning anyway, the Oklahoma-Texas rivalry. Now he gets to face Texas as a member of West Virginia. Pretty impressive numbers so far today.
Yeah, and he needs to get back to that aggressive approach. And Neil Brown calling plays, getting the ball to Sam James down the field. That was their best play in the first half.
Off the play fake. Kendall takes a shot, got a man open, it is caught momentarily and intercepted. Sam James and Deshaun Jamison on a 50-50 ball, and I think Jamison won that battle.
Great play by Jamison. They tried to run a double move with Sam James on an out and up on the outside. Looked like the quarterback's hand may have gotten hit because that ball fluttered out. And Jamison able to make an unbelievable interception.
Jamison over James.
Welcome back to Morgantown. Great opportunity for Austin Kendall. They were trying to throw this out and up. What happens is Kendall steps up, and then he's going to get hit right here by the linebacker, and is not able to throw that ball out in front of James. It could have been a touchdown, but the pressure turned it into an interception.
I thought James had it with two hands, and then he lost it in the battle. Here's Devin Duvernay, who's been doing his thing all afternoon. Gain of 5 on the play.
That's one of those plays where you never know how a quarterback's going to react until they get out there and play. And Austin Kendall hasn't played a whole lot. You have to take your eyes off the rush and throw that football. It definitely affected him.
That was Jawan Mitchell who was coming after him. That's Ingram for 3, Todd.
Just watching that play, it's unfortunate as a quarterback when you want it back. You go back and watch the tape. Kendall he didn't step into that throw, and when he looks at it on tape, he's going to say, ah, man, if I just drove my back leg and followed through, it's going to be 6.
You got to take that shot.
Bit of a low snap. Ellinger, that was dangerous. Duvernay could not come up with it. Keith Washington on the cover. Duvernay was looking for a flag. 4th down.
Keith Washington, he gave up 1 touchdown in this game, but he has been impressive otherwise. He's reading routes, jumping on the outside. You know, he's 6'1" and 180 pounds. That's really thin for a 6'1" corner, but he's got great instincts.
Hey, how about this West Virginia defense to open up the second half?
Yep.
They're going to get off the field again. Buchevsky from his own 10. With Sinkfield back for it. Signals for the fair catch at the 27. 45-yard punt. 2 turnovers in the game. Both interceptions thrown by Kendall. He's back next. Let's take a look at today's biggest moments of the game. Brought to you by Samsung QLED TV.
Yeah, some great plays throwing the ball. Predominantly, Sam James has been the best playmaker for West Virginia. And we know who the best playmaker is for Texas. That's number 11. He's done it through the air and on the ground. That's still just a 1-score game.
Molly McGrath.
Well, West Virginia head coach Neil Brown told me there were way too many mistakes in that first half, and he can't be happy about that interception. Told me their first drive will dictate the rest of the game for them. But afterwards, quarterback Austin Kendall went to his O-line, took responsibility for that interception, said, "That's my bad, we'll be okay." And Brown said Kendall has been at his best when they're playing fast in this game.
Kendall has just 4 incompletions all game, but 2 of those are the interceptions. The only 2 turnovers in the game. West Virginia down 7.
I like that report. I like Austin Kendall, manning up, taking responsibility.
See how he plays with it now? Give it to Kennedy McCoy, and the Texas defense right there. Joseph Asai for the loss of 6.
Yeah, Joseph Asai, he's been kind of quiet in this football game. He's their best edge presence for Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, and he certainly makes a positive play there.
Born in Nigeria, wanted to go to Texas because of their computer science program. And the football program's pretty good, too.
Ball start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Chase Barrett, the redshirt junior from Wildwood, Missouri.
The thing I like most about Joseph Osai, outside of his play on the field, is kind of his attitude, and he's befriended the kicker and the punter for that matter. And you don't hear that very much for a linebacker, a defensive guy that really has a great relationship with the kicker and the punter.
Somebody has to.
And it just shows there's no clicks on this team. That's important.
Here's Kendall on the ground to McCoy. Lowers the shoulder. Good stick from Anthony Cook. Gain of 3. Thought I was reading where Tom Herman does not address his kickers or punters by their first name or any names. That's not. That's part of the click thing, right? That's an issue.
Oh, can you imagine if Dicker had gotten that targeting penalty? He wouldn't have even mentioned his name in the hallway.
Under 9 to go.
Missed a field goal and a targeting. That would not be a fun week for Cameron Dicker.
A problem in the kicking game on both sides today. In a 7-point game, and West Virginia's missed a couple of field goals. Quick out from Kendall to T.J. Simmons. Gain of 7 on the play on a 3rd and 17.
A little bit of jawing going on now down there with T.J. Simmons. Didn't like the way that they came up and hit him low.
That was a day away talking smack with Simmons. Groudon is back to punt. Third such punt for Josh Groudon in the game. Jake Smith is back deep. He will signal for the fair catch at the 26. Take a look at today's Crunch Time, brought to you by Cheez-It.
Yeah, Sam Ehlinger has been great in crunch time his whole career, but the thing that I've noticed this season, that he's grown in progressions, going through the entire field, patience in the pocket. His mechanics have been flawless, and he's made conversions on 3rd down. Backed up in his own end zone, 5-man rush. This is the most difficult thing a quarterback needs to do, to throw from the foxhole underneath the shadow of your own goalpost, and a beautiful throw to Duvernay. Sam Ehlinger has grown in a lot of ways passing the football. We know what he can do on the ground, but he's been impressive today.
Out into the flat to Jake Smith. Smith down the sideline. It's a gain of 8 on the play. Jake Smith, true freshman from Scottsdale, Arizona. He's got 4 touchdowns this season. That's the most by, as you know, Grease, any freshman in the country. O'Shawn Johnson getting this series. Give Keontae Ingram a bit of a breather. Reuben Jones to stop, gain of 3.
I tend to agree with Tom Herman with respect to Sam Ehlinger. I don't think he gets enough credit nationally for how good he's playing. But he is playing at a historic level. I mean, he's playing better than just about any Texas quarterback has played. And if you look back at some of the Heisman winners, like, he's on pace with the statistics. He needs to be more front and center, in my opinion, in the national conversation around the Heisman.
We'll show you some of those numbers, the comparables.
We know next week we'll have a lot to do with that, too.
Oklahoma looming. The Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Here's Ingram. Good second effort, stays on his feet, gain of 6.
Yeah, look at these numbers. I mean, he's right there.
Through the first 4 games of the season, look at all these big boys and award winners. So how do you explain that? Like, this is a big-time program. Why wouldn't there be more national love for Ehlinger?
Well, it's early, okay? It's early in the season. I think what Tom Herman was upset about was that there wasn't more talk about him late at the end of last year.
Right.
But he's definitely in the conversation this year, and he's got a big enough stage, right? He doesn't need any more publicity. He just needs to continue to play the way he's been playing against teams like Oklahoma next week, and he'll be right there.
And I didn't realize, talking to Tom Herman, I didn't realize that he, in high school, had that hand injury. It really affected his throwing motion as a freshman. Last year was kind of his first year where he started to feel healthy, and this year he has complete control of the offense.
Broke his hand twice as a senior in high school. It's one way to ruin your senior season. Brennan Eagles, he could not come up with that ball off the grass.
Never fails. You know, we talk about him, the Heisman Trophy, and then the next play, he throws one right in the dirt.
Killed some bugs on that one. But you're right, the attention, Texas gets NFL-type coverage in Austin. All eyes.
He deserves it, Texas. He deserves all the accolades. He's not only a great player, but a great person, too.
On the ground, Ingram squirts free for 1 yard. Tonkery made the stop.
Brings up a big 3rd down here. What's Vic Koenig, defensive coordinator for West Virginia, going to do? They've been great in the second half. They've gotten 2 stops when they needed it, but Texas has been 7 of 12 on 3rd downs. They've been on fire.
West Virginia can mess with Texas here. Some late pressure, picked up nicely. And a tremendous defensive play by Akeem Bailey to get an arm there and knock it away from Malcolm Epps. 4th down.
We've talked a lot about Keith Washington on the other side. This time they go after Akeem Bailey, and he's up to the task. Another free access hitch on the outside, and that's really well done by Bailey.
This West Virginia secondary lost Kenny Robinson due to what they called academic misconduct. Derek Pitts decided he won't be here anymore. And so on 4th down, starting to wear Bruchevsky out here. Sinkfield, their catch at 10. Just a 39-yard punt. West Virginia football trailing by 7. Since we last saw West Virginia score, they've missed a couple field goals, thrown an interception, had a 3-and-out. They need to get back to a quicker pace.
Yeah, they were going fast in the first half. This was a great drive. Look at, they only 11 seconds between snaps. They get a 1st down with Petaway. They come right back. Neil Brown gets the call in quick, and Kendall's in rhythm, pushing the ball down the field. Texas was off balance. They need to get back to this if they want to start getting back in rhythm offensively, I believe.
And they're starting with their worst field position of the afternoon. From their own 10, they come out throwing. Hop, skip, and a jump from Sean Ryan to gain a 9 on the play.
And now they're going back to the line of scrimmage. Neil Brown got to get that play in, get that rhythm going. You know, Neil Brown comes from that air raid system. He played at Kentucky under Hal Mumme. They like to go fast.
He won quickly at Troy, had a 31-8 record. Coach of the year, all the bowl games, all the accolades.
Well, when he was coaching at Texas Tech, he had Seth Dagey. They would snap the ball with like 8 seconds in between plays. It was amazing.
He was a very popular hire here, though, and nationally. Very well respected. Set up the screen nicely to Sam James. He'll put on a spin move, and all of that for 4 yards.
The reason I like going up tempo, especially against Texas, is their best player, Coburn, the defensive nose guard, is 340 pounds, and that's tough on a big man to go sideline to sideline and keep up with that tempo.
That's why he's on the sideline now.
Kendall throwing, completing to Sam James. Joseph Asai made the stop. Tavondre Sweat is the replacement for now for Coburn. He's a true freshman from Huntsville, Texas.
I think the only thing that's keeping Neil Brown from really ratcheting up this tempo is in the back of his mind, I think he thinks he needs to protect his defense, right? This is a great offense for Texas. His defense is young, and if you go real fast and go 3 and out, you put him right back on the field. That's the only thing that he's worried about.
And that West Virginia defense has played very well. Sink field to back, top of your screen in motion. Ball is knocked away at the line of scrimmage. Marquez Mimich.
Mimich and Osai blitzing from the outside. Might have got a hand on it. McCulloch may have got a hand there too, but Texas has really stiffened defensively since that second quarter. Give them credit, and they're doing it shorthanded in the secondary.
4th down and 3. There's Growden, the grad transfer from LSU, back to punt. His 4th opportunity. Punt return has been an issue for Texas. Brandon Jones is back for it. Signal for the fair catch at his own 21. It's a 48-yard punt. Texas back to the offense, up 7.
ESPN, home of the college football playoff.
Take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Goodyear. Bit of a sneaky shift at the top. Alabama jumped over Clemson, and they're both idle this week. And a whole lot of people making noise that number 4 should be number 1.
Yeah, well, it's hard to argue with the way that they've looked. Another big game tonight. I think that defense for Michigan State and Joe Bacci will give them a little bit more resistance than they've faced today.
Good luck blocking Chase Young if you're Michigan. He's the best defensive player in the country.
Still looking for the Wolverines to crack into that top 10 as well. Check back next week. Big win today, Michigan at home. Roshan Johnson in the backfield. Did nothing from you? Nothing. The best color man in the league for nothing. 3.5 to play in the 3rd. Ellinger with all sorts of time. Underneath it, and it is intercepted. Keith Washington with some green in front of him. Down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. Inside the Texas 30. First turnover of the afternoon for the Longhorns. And players coming together on that West Virginia sideline, taking their time being separated. It's a 39-yard return by Keith Washington and his 3rd interception of the season.
And really the first mistake from Sam Ehlinger in this football game. It's first down. You got a fresh set of downs on a new drive. You don't need to take this risk, this chance. That's the 3rd time he's done this down the field. The other 2 times was one-on-one coverage, and I agreed with it. But here you got 3 defenders back there. That had no chance of being successful, and now West Virginia is set up nice.
He got greedy there, let's face it. I mean, he waited on it. He had Roshan Johnson open in the flat. He could have made an easy 6-7 yards, and he just wanted to take a shot vertically.
And they tacked on a penalty. See, that was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Tom Herman's looking for an explanation.
Well, 2 or 3 Texas players got caught on the sideline by West Virginia. One of them was an offensive lineman. I think it might have been Kerstetter that was over there on the sideline.
Well, the Mountaineers are in business now. Kendall will keep it. And the lasso down from behind. the 14, no gain. Brandon Jones brought him down.
And now the tempo again for Neil Brown, really trying to go fast.
Quick throw. Sam James coming out of his break. The ball was upon him immediately, and he couldn't hang on. Third down.
Go back and look at the end of that interception. You see a couple of guys over there. 68 is Kerstetter, 75 is Anguilao, and they got up, both of them. It looked like Anguilao took a cheap shot. I think that was the call. But Texas defensively now with an opportunity to bow up after the interception and keep them out of the end zone.
3rd and 10 on the 14 of Texas. Pressure is picked up. Kendall throws underneath. Nowhere near the first down marker. That's Sam James. Stopped by Deshaun Jamison. It's a gain of 2, and it's 4th down.
Boy, give Todd Orlando's defense a lot of credit. They are playing well this second half. Since that second quarter, they're playing a little more man-to-man coverage. Deshaun Jamison that time in man-to-man coverage. Nowhere to go with that football, and they're doing it shorthanded.
What a stand for this Texas defense. Giving up a field goal here is a win for the Longhorns. After the interception, the long return. And now here's Evan Staley. He's already missed twice from 47 and 36. Pushes this one through. And it's a 4-point game. You know, 5 of the 8 games in this series have been decided by 7 points or less. Nobody will forget what happened last year on November the 3rd. The 40 acres, 4th quarter, 16 seconds left, trailing by 1. They go for the 2-point conversion. Will Greer gets it done. And what was interesting, people who remember that game, Greer actually completed a 2-point conversion to David Sills, but Texas called timeout, so they had to go and try it again. And that's when Greer ran it in. But what a game that was.
Oh, man.
42-41.
That was one of the best games of the year last year. You saw both teams were ranked. And, you know, this West Virginia team a year ago, they were 3 points away from going to the Big 12 championship and maybe going to the Sugar Bowl. They lost to Oklahoma at the end of the year. But then, as you mentioned, they lost pretty much all of their offensive talent. The receivers, the quarterback, the tight end, really the only thing they had left were the running backs. Not a shock that Dana Holgerson picked that moment maybe to make a change.
Good timing.
Goes from Power 5 to Group of 5 and doubles his salary too.
Well, there's that.
There's a lot of winning there for Holgerson. This season, for every field goal, an extra point made by participating universities. Allstate will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. And we are all appreciative of that. Thank you, Allstate.
It wasn't a touchdown conversion after that interception, but the field goal has this crowd back in the game.
This was the first game sold out. Talk about the rivalries. West Virginia definitely feels like this is a rivalry game. They don't get to play Pitt or Penn State or Virginia Tech on the schedule. Geographically speaking, where they are in the country, on the map, how to pick a rival, and they have chosen Texas. This is the big game on the home schedule. Roschon Johnson, the ball carrier. Conversely, we asked Tom Herman if this is a rivalry game. He said, look, they did a poll. There are 11 other schools that consider Texas their rival. and Herman said, look, we've got really one rival, and we'll see them next week. That's Oklahoma. We probably have 2.
He said 2, yeah.
But they don't get to play Texas A&M.
Which he wants to play Texas A&M. That would be great.
Who doesn't want to see that? Can we fix that, people? I'd like to see Pitt and West Virginia get back together, too. Here's Roschon Johnson staying on his feet. Out beyond the 45, Zach Shackelford, the center, the heart and soul of that offensive line with a key block.
I think they need to get the football to Roschon Johnson a little bit more. I know Keontae Ingram, he's coming back into this game, but he doesn't look to be the same runner as he did before he got that stinger. Johnson's looked outstanding.
on the ground. Roshan Johnson just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 3. Bring up a 2nd down and 7.
There's a great battle going on in the middle of the field between Zach Shackelford and Darius Stills. Stills has made a bunch of plays in this game, and Shackelford's not happy about it.
I was just watching that. Stills is tough to move, man.
Which one?
56.
Darius. Dante would like a word with you, McShay. He'd like to move you around a little bit on the sideline there. Ingram, nothing doing. To loss of 1, and it is Darius Stills.
I mean, right on cue. Stills, we met with him yesterday, and he is a fiery individual, very smart, studious. He studies the game, but there's no replacing that physical presence in the middle.
With Molly McGrath, Todd McShay, Brian Greasy. I'm Steve Levy here in Morgantown as we continue Dr. Pepper's championship drive. Game of the week. Welcome to the 4th quarter of a 4-point game. Texas football at their own 48. And we open up quarter 4 with a 3rd and 8. Good protection. Ellinger has time. And Brennan Eagles had it, and then he didn't. 4th down.
What a great throw there by Ellinger. He went through his progressions. He waited, he trusted his protection, and put the ball exactly where he needed it to go, and Brandon Eagles just couldn't haul it in. That's unfortunate. When you do everything right and give your receiver an opportunity to make that play and a key 1st down, it just doesn't work out.
Ryan Buchevsky is back to punt it away. Got a little pressure. Sickfield will let it bounce. And will be down about the 8-yard line.
Opportunity for Austin Kendall now, but he's going to have to do it without his top player, his top receiver, and Sam James walking back into the locker room. It looked like on that last 3rd down attempt, he caught a shallow cross and went down hard, and the side of his head hits the ground. Right there.
It's Deshaun Jameson on top of him. Jameson on James. Down to Molly.
Well, Steve, Sam James underwent concussion protocol. Medical training staff told me he is out for the game with a head injury.
West Virginia trailing by 4. Letty Brown. He's going the wrong way. Led by Adeoye. It's a loss of 3 on the play.
I don't think they're going to be able to get back into this game trying to run the football. They come into the game 117th in the country rushing the football. Really, I know you lost your best wide receiver, but Austin Kendall's going to have to throw the football.
2nd and 13 from his own end zone. It's Brown out across the 10. And if he could have stayed on his feet, would have been a lot of green there. It's a gain of 12 on the play, short of the 1st down marker. It is 3rd down, and Reese, that Texas pass defense came in ranked 124th in the country. That's out of 130 schools. That's hard to believe.
Well, that's what LSU and Joe Burrow will do to you, and then playing Oklahoma State and Sanders. But somebody has to step up for West Virginia at the receiver spot. T.J. Simmons has the most experience, but really Sean Ryan, Winston Wright, one of these guys has to step up in the absence of James.
Interesting play call on 3rd and 1. Some late pressure. Ball batted up in the air and intercepted. Intercepted. B.J. Foster. And Austin Kendall has thrown his 3rd pick of the afternoon.
Great play by Foster. He's had an up and down day. He gave up the first touchdown pass. Then he had a potential targeting. He almost knocked himself out of the game. He was in the injury tent for about a half an hour. And now he's playing in the 2nd half. Makes an unbelievable interception. Great play by Foster.
That's a full afternoon. And we've still got a whole 4th quarter here. And what's Kendall saying with that reaction? Expressing disappointment? Or is that a misplay by his receiver?
He's got to understand that you can't throw a hitch route against tight man-to-man coverage. It's going to be a tip ball. That's a misread from Kendall.
Chance for Texas to cash in as they start inside the 20 of West Virginia. Some pressure. Ellinger hit as he throws. It is caught. Duvernay. No, it's not. He had it, and then he couldn't hang on. Incomplete pass. Tyke Smith, who got the start in place of Giovanni Stewart, makes the play.
Wow, an unbelievable throw again by Ellinger. Puts it right where it needs to be. And the true freshman, Tyke Smith, with a great job. If he doesn't get that arm in there, that's a touchdown.
That's one of those where you read the receiver's eyes at the last second. He had no idea that ball was coming in until he saw his eyes get wide.
2nd and 10. Ellinger all of a sudden is 0 for his last 5. Put it on the ground. Johnson lowers the shoulder, fights for 5. Josh Norwood to stop. Ever since we put up those Heisman comparisons on Ellinger,
Jinx,
he hasn't hit a single pass.
This is his down. 3rd down. He has been better than any quarterback in the country this season, outside of maybe Justin Fields. But this is his down because he will go through his reads. You can't blitz him because if you don't get him on the ground, there's nobody left for him running with his legs.
Big play on 3rd and 5. Gonna hand the ball off. Johnson. Duvernay, I beg your pardon, in for the touchdown. He handed it off to the wide receiver, Devin Duvernay, for the 13-yard touchdown. Big-time play for Texas.
Think of the creativity that Tim Beck has to have, right? He didn't know Keontae Ingram was going to go out of this football game. He didn't know he was going to have to use Roschon Johnson primarily. And to give him a change of pace, you bring Devin Duvernay into the backfield in what looked like a 2 halfback set, and they score the touchdown.
Extra point is good. 2nd touchdown of the game for Texas. Immediately coming off the interception thrown by Austin Kendall. 11-point lead for the Longhorns. Here are the 4th.
Cassidy Hubbard here. Let's take a look at one of AT&T's best performances. Undefeated Baylor at Kansas State. Charlie Brewer to Denzel Mims, who breaks some tackles and goes. Brought down at the 4, but Baylor would score on the very next play. Bears up 24-12 on ESPN2. Steve?
Cassidy, thank you.
I like that Denzel Mims. Saw him last week.
Yeah.
He's a heck of a receiver.
2 undefeated teams in the Big 12. Oklahoma and Baylor trying to stay that way.
You know, the difference between winning and losing a lot of times comes down to the red zone. And Texas has been one of the best in the country. You see the first 4 games almost perfect, scoring touchdowns down there. I think this comes back to balance, right? Being able to throw the football and run it. And the X factor for Tom Herman is Sam Ellinger and his legs. He has a rushing touchdown today. Duvernay with a rushing touchdown, and then 2 passing touchdowns. That is a recipe to win football games, to be efficient in the red zone.
Duvernay got his first career rushing touchdown on his 5th career rushing attempt. Snuck him into the backfield, and it worked out. That's Sean Ryan making the grab. Anthony Cook to stop. That's a gain of 13. We'll see what life is left in this West Virginia offense with Austin Kendall carrying those 3 interceptions around his neck for now. 1st down and 10. Trying to zip one. There's pick number 4. Deshaun Jameson intercepts Austin Kendall. 4th pick thrown by Kendall this afternoon. Nearly took it to the house.
No Jalen Green. No problem. Deshaun Jameson, he's been reading these out routes. They've been throwing a lot of quick routes out here, and Jameson just reads the ball perfectly out of the hand. You know, Jameson played well against Oklahoma State. He moved from wide receiver in the spring, so you know he's got good hands, and he just treated that like a wide receiver, jumped underneath for the 4th interception. That's a good sign for Texas, because you know who's coming to town next week in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl. There's going to be a lot of passes thrown in that game, and so to have some confidence for your young secondary, and Jameson in particular as a true sophomore, that will go a long way in helping him next week.
Jameson has 2 of the 4 interceptions. His first 2 picks of the season.
And the inability for West Virginia to run the football and all the pressure on Austin Kendall has finally come crashing down. Back-to-back series, throwing interceptions and forcing the football, but he really hasn't had a whole lot of help around him today.
Texas can pretty much play this the way they want to. By handing it off to Roschon Johnson, staying on his feet. It's a gain of 11 on first down. Got a good block from the left tackle, Cosme. Johnson smacked down hard at the 19. Good stick by Akeem Bailey. Gain of 4 on the play. Of all the attributes of Sam Ehlinger we have discussed, should be pointed out, he's been playing in some pain as well. Documented, got a rib injury dating back to before the LSU game, and didn't do much during the bye week. So they practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday, but he didn't do much throwing. I'd be surprised if he runs with the football the rest of the way here. Quick out to the flat for Jake Smith. A little bit of a stiff arm and a first down. Up 11 with 11 minutes to go in the fourth.
I think that's Jake Smith's first grab in this game, but he has been a real good find for this Texas offense. Got a lot of speed. Gatorade National Player of the Year. He's playing that slot position behind Duvernay. But he brings a different element to this offense that I think he's going to continue to grow in and be a weapon for Sam Ehlinger.
Ehlinger rolling to his right with Johnson.
The big man
throws it back to the big fella. Down the sideline. Samuel Cosme, the left tackle. Why wouldn't he? The sophomore from, this is perfect, from Humble, Texas, goes into the end zone and celebrates the touchdown. Just meant to be.
6'7", 300 pounds. And we know he's an athlete, but we don't know he's that good of an athlete. But Cosme, with the play of his career so far, you dream about that, right? Growing up, give me an opportunity.
Got to catch the ball first, too. Does that. Extra point is good. And fleet of foot as well.
Oh, man. Give it. Yeah, look at how happy he is, right? You work on that all off season, all week, and when you call it, your palms get sweaty, and here it comes. Now, how would you like to tackle that guy at the goal line? Oh, my goodness. That was Stills.
College football on ABC is brought to you by Pacific Life. 150 years strong. Protection and retirement solutions for your future. The all-new 2020 Lincoln Aviator. And Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Smart call, I think, by Tom Herman. What you do right there, Grease, is you give Lincoln Riley something else to look at on film. They'll be working all week on that play using valuable preparation time. And there's the other side of the fun and game.
That was a huge collision. I mean, you got a nose guard and a left tackle coming full speed at each other at the goal line. Give Still some credit. He has not given up.
Hung in there.
Yeah.
Take a look at today's Pacific Life game summary. All about the quarterbacks, and look, you throw 4 interceptions. If you throw 4 interceptions against anyone, you're going to lose that football game.
Yeah, not all.
They're in trouble.
Not all those have been on him, but most of them have been. And there's one tip ball that there ain't nothing he can do about it. But you got to give credit to Texas defensively too, because they have made the tight plays. They've tipped the ball. Jamison has made the play, and the weakness of Texas coming in was their secondary. So you got to give them credit.
Yeah, the interceptions have been very athletic plays by Texas. Down to Molly.
Steve, Austin Kendall told me he's extremely hard on himself, and coaches said he struggles with his confidence when faced with adversity, and it looks like he's spiraling with those 4 interceptions, and Texas players know it. They're telling each other, we've got this, we're in his head.
You want to get him out of there? You want to get him out of this game?
No. He needs all the snaps he can get. He hadn't played football in
This is good for him.
Yeah, it is good. Second down and 9. T.J. Simmons across midfield. Texas has scored now 35 or more points in 5 consecutive games. That's the first time done that for the Longhorns since 2012. And our old pal Mac Brown is the head coach. Texas. That one's dropped by Petaway. Second and 10.
No, to Molly's point, you leave Kendall in there, so that he can begin to overcome some of this adversity, so that you don't, have this habit of when things go bad that they go worse. You got to come back, and Neil Brown, he's trying to build a program here. They've ripped this thing down to the studs pretty much, and they've got rid of some guys, and they need to find character to build around. Darius Stills and Dante Stills, a great start. He's hoping to find out about Austin Kendall here.
Here's Petaway, just back to the line of scrimmage. Give him a yard on the play. This was a big recruiting day for West Virginia. It's obviously the biggest game on their schedule. A spectacular day weather-wise, sold out, homecoming, striped the stadium. They had a host of big-time recruits here to watch, and certainly the atmosphere lived up to it, and this team could not keep up on the scoreboard.
It was a heavy ask, a heavy lift to come in. And Texas has more athletes, more players. They're deeper than West Virginia right now, but Neil Brown's building. And when he took over the Troy job, they went 4-8. That was a team that was not very good before he got there. And then the last 3 years, he was 31-8 as a head coach. He knows how to rebuild programs, and he'll get this thing turned around for West Virginia. And the fact that they're 3-1 right now, I think that's a really good record for this team coming into this game.
With Iowa State coming in next Saturday.
I don't think you can oversell the difference in talent on this field, too. What West Virginia did getting into the 4th quarter and battling, having a chance to win this game, shows a lot about what they're building here and how effective they were playing today in terms of just executing.
21 points for Texas off 4 West Virginia turnovers.
Cassidy Hubbard here now for today's All-State Mayhem moment. It's been mayhem all day in the Swamp. Through 3.5 quarters, the Gators had 27 rushing yards. LaMichael Pirine changed that quickly with this 88-yard run and score, putting the Gators up 24-13 in the 4th. Steve?
All right, Cassidy. See how Auburn will respond there in the hole in the Swamp. On first down and 10, Roshan Johnson. Pick up 5 on the play. Under 9 to go now in this 4th quarter. Texas opening up things to the tune of 35-17. Johnson puts him over 100 yards rushing. Johnson. Whistle will blow, be short of the first down. Kick off your NFL Sunday tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's countdown. This week, how Daniel Jones, Duke roots, have turned him into the new king of New York. And then close out your day with Boomer and TJ, NFL primetime every Sunday night, only on ESPN+. To get ESPN+, download the app or go to ESPNplus.com. Talk to Diana Rossini, who has been working very hard on that Daniel Jones piece. And I think everyone will enjoy on Sunday NFL Countdown tomorrow morning.
I can't wait to see that.
We know what McShay's doing. We'll be watching the show from start to finish. Third down and 1. Ellinger will keep it and have the first down. Some of the numbers. What did Todd say? Check back after week 3 or week 4?
6, I think.
6?
Week 8.
Week 8.
And I just heard the producer, he said you have another promo to read. So keep it moving. Push.
Read the card, Levy. Got it?
Look at McShay back there. He's got his bird's eye view.
So was Coach Herman giving you the hard time or Mel? I think he was taking shots at Mel Kiper and sort of...
No, that was me.
Oh, was bully on you?
I'm sure. Me and some others.
It's tough being at the summit, isn't it, Todd?
Hey,
they all want a piece of you. On the ground, Kirk Johnson.
I think what Herman said is, you know, listen, I make mistakes in recruiting all the time. I got five-star guys that come that
can't play.
That don't work out, and he was identifying with Tom.
Self-deprecating, he said he talked to a younger player who made a mistake in an earlier game. He said, look, I make $5 million a year. I make a lot of mistakes too.
Yeah, he was talking to Jake Smith, the true freshman who fumbled the punt against Oklahoma State, and at halftime he said, yeah, you know, don't worry about it, kid.
I wasn't going to put Jake's business on the street like that.
Nice job, Greasy.
Right.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean?
Everybody knows he dropped the punt.
Muff that led to the touchdown, you mean?
Yes.
On the ground.
Brandon Jones had one, too. They had 2 muff punts.
Immediately after. Yeah, the punt return game, they're still trying to figure that part out in Texas. But they seem to be clicking pretty good and staring at Oklahoma next Saturday. Any chance we get that game? Could you talk to the executives, see if we can work that into the calendar? No?
Love to.
Got it?
That's going to be a great game. Yeah. I thought it was interesting talking with Tom Herman. I don't know if I believe him or not, but he said this week that he didn't even know who they played next week.
Right.
Now, if he was able to compartmentalize that, that's pretty impressive. Because I know these kids know who they play next week. But they didn't overlook West Virginia. They've taken care of business, and now they can look towards that game.
And they hope to have Colin Johnson ready for that game. One of the big reasons they kept him out of this one. Misfire to Marcus Washington there. And it's 4th down.
What a great matchup. You got Ellinger against Jalen Hurts. Hurts is playing out of his mind, the best football he's ever played. And then you've got this secondary that's beat up for Texas, but has got a lot of confidence after the way they played today, going against a wide receiver core, CeeDee Lamb, and a deep group of talented athletes. Can't wait to watch that one.
Well, it'll be interesting too, Todd. I want to see Alex Grinch, the new defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, and what he cooks up to slow down this offense in Ellinger, because in last year's game, it was back and forth, and they really struggled slowing Ellinger.
Sickfield, fair catch at the 26. 40-yard punt. Texas on their way.
Cassidy Hubbard here. Coming up on ABC, Justin Fields and the red-hot 4th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes hosting number 25 Michigan State, 7:30 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app. Steve?
Cassidy, thank you. Justin Fields has thrown for 16 touchdowns and no interceptions this season. That's the kind of ratio you're looking for. West Virginia. Lenny Brown out of the backfield. Gain of 2 on the play. Out to 27. Brandon Jones made the stop. As for J.K. Dobbins, the running back, 2nd in the FBS, 654 rushing yards.
Boy, Ryan Day has done an outstanding job. I think that game, everybody's talking about Ohio State, but I'm really interested to see what Brian Lewerke does, the quarterback from Michigan State. He's going to be under a lot of pressure. I think defensively, Michigan State will be up to the task. They're not going to give up 45 points, but can they score enough to stay in that ball game and put some pressure on Fields?
Plenty of time for Austin Kendall down the middle of the field. It is caught. Sean Ryan. I'd say the coverage was excellent by Anthony Cook, but Ryan able to hang on for 39.
Well, without Sam James, Sean Ryan has an opportunity to step up. The transfer, he got a waiver to be eligible immediately to play here as a true sophomore from Brooklyn, New York. He's got good size, 6'3", 200 pounds. He's still down on the field.
Lost Sam James earlier. Here's Sean Ryan being helped off the field gingerly.
It looked like it came down on that shoulder, and when you come down like that, you worry about the collarbone.
Lenny Brown hops over an defender and has 1st down yardage. It's a gain of 13.
Boy, Letty Brown has shown up here in the second half. They really didn't get him involved in the game in the first half, but I think he's their most explosive back. You know, they have Kennedy McCoy and Martel Pettaway, but Letty Brown brings a little bit more explosiveness to this offense.
Brown didn't play the first 2 games of the season. High ankle sprain. Trying to set up the screen to Haskins, the tight end. More on Letty from Todd.
It really jumped out on tape. I mean, I think they're bringing him along, Letty Brown. And obviously with Kennedy McCoy, you've got a senior who you trust, who protects the football and can pass protect. But as the season progresses, I think we're going to see a lot more of Letty.
TJ Simmons still on his feet and into the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia. There is a flag down.
That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Touchdown will stand.
Good on Austin Kendall. You know, 4 interceptions, not the way he wanted this game to go, but not giving up here in the 4th quarter. It's good route, good effort by Simmons. Gets into the end zone.
Evan Staley. Extra point is good. It's an 11-point game with 3:57 left. I think they have the best hats or lids in the country.
This is not the state you want to be a rodent in. I'll just know that.
Is that a cap? That's not a cap. No. Did I miss John Denver's song already? Did they play that while we were on break?
Pay attention, will you?
I started playing Take Me Home Country Roads on the day this stadium was dedicated back in 1980, and John Denver himself actually made the appearance, and the fans have been singing that song every home game since 1972. Let's see, we get the onside kick in an 11-point game, 4 minutes to play, and there it is. And the hands team in for Texas. That's Jordan Pouncey, who pounced on the ball. We were told that that would be the only way that Colin Johnson could get into the game, would be in a hands situation like that for Texas. But up 11, 3:56 to go.
Yeah, Colin Johnson dealing with that hamstring. Should be ready to go next week.
I know it doesn't matter now. Why not go for 2 if you were at West Virginia?
Yeah.
Make it a 10-point
Make it 10 points.
Yep.
If you're going to kick an onside kick. Anyway.
I can think of a lot of people around America that'd be very pleased if they would have gone for a 2-point conversion.
And a lot of people would be very upset about it.
Feel free to add
wasn't where I was going, Levy, but
at Todd McShay.
Very good point.
Who's delaying this game? We've got Michigan State and Ohio State coming up on ABC. Here's Roschon Johnson out across midfield. And now some flags come in.
Yeah, you're going to get
some frustration.
Punches
and maybe a punch, Josh Chandler.
Yeah, he got into it. Looked like it was Shackelford, the center. And you just got to keep your cool. Chandler's one of the better defenders on this defense, and a piece that they're going to build around. Just a true sophomore, and they're always going to catch the second guy.
Timeout called by West Virginia. After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 35 of the defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down. That's number.
But not an ejection.
Yeah, I'm shocked there's not an ejection because he clearly threw a punch.
We'll take another look at this. That's more of a shove.
And then, oh, that was the second one. There was a punch thrown. That was the second time he hit him. Yeah, you can see he's got his head on. You know, Chandler's having that conversation with Neil Brown, and
he's saying we'll talk about this later.
Right.
Not now.
A lot of learning going on in Morgantown with this team. A lot of growing happening. There's a lot of change certainly coming from Neil Brown, and he needs guys like Chandler to be on the same page.
Johnson, the ball carrier, for a yard. Tonight on ESPN, after Washington, Stanford, it's Sports Center. Stan Verrett, Linda Cohn. We'll break down the big college football Saturday. Herbie will join them as always. Don't forget your playoff baseball, how the Astros and Yankees flex their muscle. And then UFC 243, some post-fight coverage. Sports Center tonight on ESPN with Linda and Stan from Los Angeles and streaming live on the ESPN app. You look at the yardage, it's virtually even. It's the turnovers that tell the story in this game.
Well, I think when West Virginia watches the tape, they're going to see that they competed with Texas for 3 quarters. And then in the 4th quarter, you know, a couple of bad possessions, interceptions thrown by Austin Kendall really broke this thing open. But there's a lot they can learn, obviously, and build from. But this is an inexperienced team that's trying to implement a system and a program that Neil Brown is bringing to Morgantown.
No quit, no give up in this West Virginia squad. They already spent the 1 timeout. And they'll spend another timeout there. The game began so well for West Virginia. Place was packed, rocking. Opening drive, marched down the football field, scored touchdown, have a 7-0 lead. And so they've got things to figure out still. We knew there would be growing pains here, and then there's Texas, who has been very impressive on the road, taking advantage of those turnovers, and all signs pointing to Oklahoma and maybe much more for this Texas team.
Yeah, I think
it's set up for them, Grease.
Yeah, no, certainly, you know, they can still get in the playoff, right? I mean. They would have to beat Oklahoma twice, and that's a big if, okay? But certainly I think what they're going to take away from this game is their secondary, which came into the game was the big question, and they've been injured, and next week they're going to be put to the test. But they were up to the task today. Austin Kendall can throw the football. West Virginia wants to throw the football. 4 interceptions from that secondary. They were playmaking. They were confident, and that's something that I think Tom Herman and Tyler Lando are going to feel good about.
Again, Texas hoping to get Green and Overshown and Stearns all back at some point, maybe in a couple of weeks. Sam Ehlinger's not done yet. He will gallop into the end zone for another Texas touchdown.
You think Tom Herman doesn't remember last year losing to this team? They've thrown a touchdown to the left tackle, and now they're pouring a little salt in the wound with Ehlinger right up the middle for another touchdown.
2 touchdown passes by Ehlinger. 2 touchdown runs by Ehlinger. And Texas is on their way. Up 42-24. 3:03 left. Get you into the pro game. Sunday NFL countdown tomorrow, then on Monday Night Football. The schedule finally deals us an ace. The Browns and 49ers, Jimmy G, and the undefeated Niners host Baker Mayfield and the Browns. That should be a dandy. 8 Eastern, ESPN, and the ESPN app. Garoppolo's been terrific. We actually saw San Francisco in the preseason, right? And with Jimmy G, got off to a sluggish start, but they've been great, and the defense has been really good for the 49ers, too.
Well, we went to practice between the Broncos and 49ers and talking with Kyle Shanahan and watching Jimmy Garoppolo. It was not a done deal that Jimmy was going to come out and play well. Right. He had some issues. Remember the 5 interceptions in a row practice?
Right. Apparently that's hard to do in practice, right?
Jeez. But certainly he's found a rhythm. Kyle Shanahan has found a rhythm, calling plays for him, and that'll be a fun game to watch.
And everybody wants to see the Browns play, right? America's darlings, America's sweethearts, Cleveland Browns. That'll be a lot of fun on Monday night. Joe Tess, Booger, Lisa, Kennedy McCoy out to the 20-yard line. West Virginia still has one timeout left, and in case you weren't sure, Texas travels pretty well.
You don't think they're local, those guys? I don't see any rodents on there. That would have been a giveaway.
Yeah, just about all that. You know what? I would say there's a lot of gold still in the stadium, and in one section, there's a lot of burnt orange. Flip. T.J. Simmons has the first down, and then he is rocked down. Jacoby Jones able to bring him down. Under 3 to go. Kendall picked off 4 times. He'll run with this one. Get the first down and scoot out of bounds.
I tell you, you got no reserves in the secondary for Texas because everybody's been hurt. So the guys that started the game are pretty much the guys that they're still out there. No break for them.
Here's Letty Brown on the draw play across midfield. Scamper out of bounds. Thank our producer, Bill Palladino, producer Josh Hoffman, our director, Mike Schwab, and our outstanding crew. It's kind of a vacation for our crew this week after dealing with 95-degree temperature last week in Waco. This is a postcard kind of day here in Morgantown.
I think you're right. It was Waco.
It's a little warm. McShay, was it warm on the field last week?
I was going to say, who was dealing with it?
Not me. Greasy got a sweater on. It was so cold in the booth.
You had 2 air conditioners on you.
At all times. As the college football season marches on.
It's a tough month coming up for Neil Brown. His schedule in the Big 12. He plays the big boys: Texas, Oklahoma, and Iowa State next week.
Here's Kendall. Skips one to Letty Brown.
Iowa State's a couple plays away from being undefeated.
How about Baylor, Todd? I mean, that game all of a sudden is not an easy one. Give Matt Rule a lot of credit. From where that program came from to now in his 3rd year with what they're doing, that's impressive. Going on the road today against Kansas State, the big win.
And as for Texas, today the Longhorns' first trip out of the state of Texas. The only other time that Texas will leave the state is November 16th when they face Iowa State. All the comforts of home. Kendall slides down and avoids taking a big hit. This is the first true road game for the Longhorns. They did play at Rice, sort of, playing at NRG Stadium in Houston. They had 50,000 Texas fans there for that one, too.
Well, and the reason I think that they're still in it, in the playoff conversation, is because that loss to LSU and the way that they lost certainly is not going to hurt them. If they're able to beat Oklahoma, and I think they're right back in it.
Bryce Wheaton brought that one down. The redshirt freshman gained a 31. Mountaineers chance to make this more respectable on the scoreboard. Kendall to the end zone. McCoy got twisted around. What do you think happens to Texas in the rankings based off this performance? They crack the top 10 here?
Yeah, well, I think they're a top 10 team right now. I mean, if it were me, I'd have them in the top 10. So, yeah, I think they are. You can't penalize them for that game against LSU, I think. But it really doesn't matter. I mean, all that really matters is next week and the way that they play in the Cotton Bowl against Oklahoma.
Kendall throwing. Too short for Winston Wright. Getting some reps for some of the younger Mountaineers. He's a true freshman from Pooler, Georgia. 61 seconds left, 3rd and 10.
Yeah, they really tried to bolster this receiving core with the losses of Jennings and Sills and Wesco. They really needed to supplement, so they got 2 transfers that came in. Sean Ryan's a transfer and George Campbell, and then they've got 2 true freshmen, as you mentioned, in Wright and Jennings. So everybody outside of James and Simmons is really new.
Good protection for Kendall. Incomplete down at the 1-yard line. Ali Jennings could not haul it in. Another true freshman from Richmond, Virginia. 4-down territory. In case you were wondering.
What now, Leo?
Okay. The previous play is under review.
It's important to a lot of people, remember?
Are we at that point again? Molly, talk to somebody down there, will you?
I'll do what I can.
Oh, Molly is here. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, man, how did that not hit the ref? That was a nice old lay there by the umpire. Couldn't tell there.
No, not from that replay.
Well, he had a good look at it. He was right there. Look at him. He's emphatic.
It's like counting you out on the mat in boxing.
How are you going to question that? How emphatic he was there. Who's that umpire?
I'm working on it.
All
Give me
right.
a second. That's Michael Cooper, of course.
All right.
Good job, Coop.
Yeah, nice move, Coop. And then get your eyes on the ball, see it on the ground, and then come in with the very emphatic. No.
He makes the move like McShay makes in his commercial.
Oh, there's
that
the
little
look.
sidestep.
Yeah, there it is.
That's incomplete.
Yep.
Don't mess with Coop. Yeah. He had it all the way.
These guys do an unbelievable job, especially the umpire. He's got a lot of things going on, a lot of bodies flying around him. And then to make that move, to see the ball coming out first and then get out of the way and then turn around and make the call, that's really well done.
He's got the sports goggles on, working. Not gonna mess with his eyesight. He's like, I had that the whole way, people.
After review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is confirmed.
Yeah, you go. No kidding. You tell him, Coop.
Slam it home.
Go get some.
Coop looks like he might have played a little bit.
Making Michael Cooper a little bit of a TV star on ABC. Big hello to all the friends and family watching. You know, they've got feelings too, the Stripes.
That's
There are
right.
three teams out there, Greasy.
That's right.
They don't play any home games, though. That's the difference. They got families, and they've got feelings, too. 54 seconds left. Molly, let's wind that clock down there, will you? Back of the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Bryce Wheaton. West Virginia's not done yet with 48 seconds left.
Good for you, Bryce Wheaton. He's a redshirt freshman, 6'3", 215 pounds. That's a nice throw from Austin Kendall. And they're beating the true freshman, Kenyatta Watson, for Texas.
Well, the 12-point game. And Staley is on to attempt the extra point. On the way and good. And the lead is back to 11 by Texas with 48 seconds remaining here in the fourth. The story of the game has been Sam Ehlinger, kind of the same story as we had coming into the game. He has been outstanding here today.
Yeah, and he's been solid all season long, really surveying the field, seeing a lot more than he did a year ago, having patience, and then when he absolutely needs to, he still has those tree trunks for legs, and he's made West Virginia pay 2 times in the red zone, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Playing his best football, he's made tremendous strides mechanically from freshman to junior, as I imagine most quarterbacks would. Turned 21 earlier this week, having himself a bit of a party here in Morgantown here today. Onside kick again. Whistles before it. Texas spent a timeout. Mentioned earlier, we thought we might see Colin Johnson only in a hands teams kind of situation, but it's a 2-score game. Imagine if it was a 1-score game, you probably would see the Texas captain, middle of your screen, number 9.
Now, the bye week helped him, certainly, and then having this week to kind of work his way back into practice a little bit. You know, the question will be the game shape, right? You know, you won't be able to play him the entire game next week in Dallas, but that hamstring is going to be good enough for him to go, and we'll see if he'll be able to expose that Oklahoma secondary.
Another crack at this onside kick. Pretty deep. Nobody's home for Texas.
That was a dump and chase, wasn't it?
Very good. Get Melrose on the floor inside the 15-yard line. Duvernay was back to recover it.
No icing. Good.
Very good. Wow, really emptying the bucket here, are we? 47 seconds left.
I'm going to give Roschon Johnson maybe a snap. You know, he's played so well at running back.
Not going to redshirt him this year. Not in game number 5. West Virginia can still stop the clock one more time. Let's see if they do it. Ellinger will take a knee.
Ellinger takes a knee.
And West Virginia will not stop the clock. One more snap. So we get you ready for Michigan State and Ohio State. And that should take care of things. It's going to do it for us. For Molly McGrath, Todd McShay, Brian Greasy, and our entire crew, I'm Steve Levy. That's the story. Texas comes here and knocks off West Virginia 42-31. Send you back to the studio. Kevin Nagandi, Jonathan Vilma, and Mark Sanchez. It's all yours. Good evening from Morgantown, West Virginia.